All right, it's gonna be a minute. You guys know what I have to do. Got to get the last stream up: Instagram, TikTok, Substack, and YouTube. That's what we'll be. So bear with me for a second. Good evening, Night Terry and Line Lies Step Up. Some of you folks that are joining, but we're gonna be on Instagram, TikTok, Substack, and YouTube. So give me a minute to get my last platform going, and we'll be up momentarily. So. Um, It's Iran's in the news again. I'll just say that it's more of Iran. That's all I can tell you. It's gonna be more of Iran. And for you folks that believe Iran is some way, somehow, some sort of a diversion from the Epstein files. Look, I mean, there is a very good possibility there because it is certainly nobody's talking about Epstein right now. So it absolutely could be some form of a diversion. I mean, because nobody's talking about that at all. I mean, it's just not being mentioned whatsoever. So, I mean, anything is possible. I'll test out my Instagram while I'm getting this last platform up. I see Denkow was in there. I think I viewed it. What did I hit? View request? Yeah, let's try it again here. I get this last hashtag in, and we should be able to get the party going momentarily here. I don't know what happened, Denkow. I did send in a. There we go. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, so we're gonna be talking about things from the standpoint of promises made, but I don't know if their promises kept. I don't know because there is a lot of things that President Trump has said in his past, and I do have receipts to bring about we don't want nation building and how Barack Obama was going to start another war with Iran. Are what we seeing right now what he campaigned on?
No, it's actually the exact opposite. A lot of the things he talked about.
Yeah, but then if that's the case, why do you believe? Because his supporters are quite happy with what's going on with our incursion into Iran. I'll say incursion because they're saying it's not a war, but MAGA is very happy with what we're doing in Iran. But yet he campaigned on no more, regime changes, no more nation building. So why is MAGA so happy when he campaigned on, as you're stating, just the opposite?
I mean, all I can say is that, I mean, you've been making this point from the beginning. They don't have any policies that they actually hold dear to themselves. Whatever he says is the new policy.
Hmm.
When he started out this whole situation of running again, saying, "Look, I didn't start any wars. I wasn't." What did he say? I hate death and destruction.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay out of other countries' business. We're gonna stop being the world police. We're gonna concentrate on ourselves.
Yeah. And he is definitely doing quite a bit the opposite. But like I said, MAGA is very happy now. But let me ask you this: with the notion that the head of state in Iran was an oppressive individual, oppressing his citizens, obviously not a fan of women's rights, literally executing protesters. Regardless of what promises Trump may have made in the campaign, is he indeed doing a good thing by getting rid of this guy, getting rid of several members of that regime?
Um, you know, you could. It depends on what position you take on regime change. Now, we can say yes, he's saving somebody, but when you don't know who's eventually going to take over,
Mm,
they could be worse.
yeah.
So now, do you give him credit for hurting more people when the people are worse? Because I can give you, a couple countries.
Well, that happened in Iran. That actually,
It happened in Iraq. It
yeah,
happened in Libya. It happened everywhere we've gone in and intervened. It's happening right now in Venezuela because guess what? We're withholding all of the money they use to run their government with the oil money.
mm,
Those places are worse off than they
Well, speaking of it getting worse, I'm going to because I saw this in the comments on TikTok from Michael Sparks. He said, "How could they be worse?" So, in other words, what we have replaced in Iran, how could anything following that up be worse than what they had? What say you?
He has no idea who the Iranian Revolutionary Guard are. Those are the hardliners that were behind the Ayatollah. Those were the ones who were cracking down.
Yeah.
Those people now are in charge. The
Yeah.
Ayatollah was probably a more settling, because he used to battle with the Revolutionary Guard, where the Revolutionary Guard used to want to be more aggressive, and the Ayatollah coming from a more of a religious, like, people just viewed the Ayatollah as the sole evil person in Iran.
Yeah.
No, there's a whole group of people behind them, the mullahs and the shahs and all of those people who have hardlines. They want to go strict literal Quran. If you're not Muslim, you should die.
Damn.
They don't understand what could be coming for those people.
Yeah, I mean the thing about it is no oppressive government can be done by one person. It has to be lots of people. I mean, even when you look at Hitler and stuff like that, I mean, there have to be other people that agree with it for it to work. One man can't do all that.
Right. I would say to that person, if he doesn't think things can get worse, just look at the country of Libya. Just look at all of the countries throughout history. I'm sure you can just pull up regime change affected by U.S. policy and look at all of those countries and tell me if those countries are better off now or worse.
Yeah, I will. You raise a good point, because I will say we have under several presidents went into countries and changed the regimes there. And I would ask the simple question: what country can we point to in our past that we went into and changed the regime, and the people there are doing better? I don't know any country, whether we're talking about Libya, as you mentioned, with Gaddafi, or we're talking about Saddam Hussein in Iraq. I don't know any country, even Afghanistan. Once we left, it went right back to the hands of the Taliban. So, what country have we went into?
Because all we do is, when we go in there, is we try to put somebody in place that will be friendlier to us robbing them blind.
I mean, and that's the thing. We're putting in somebody that is friendly to us. As long as you're friendly to us, we don't give a damn what you do to your own people.
And when you're friendly to us, we want your resources.
Yeah, and that's crazy. I mean, we're there for exploitation, not to grant freedom. So, and I've been saying this, is that I'm really shocked that MAGA particularly think that we're going over there, because they're talking about the protesters, and wow, thank you for that support, Ginger Wilkins over on TikTok. Appreciate that. Thank you. I've been saying, when you look at the fact that under Trump, you can't claim asylum from any third world country, we're deporting people back to Haiti, deporting people back to Somalia. Why do they think we care about the Iranian citizens? Actually, why do they think we genuinely care about the Iranian citizens when we've shown that we don't give a damn about any other third world citizen going through strife?
Yeah, I just had a conversation with this guy, I debate with, and he tried to throw up in my face, well, Trump's going in there saving the Iranian people. Don't you care about them? And I said, it's hard for me to care about a situation when I know he's not going in there to help them. You guys didn't give a shit about the millions of damn Africans that got their rice and oatmeal taken away from them through USAID. Y'all didn't give a shit about them, but somehow y'all care about the Iranians. Don't ask me how I feel about it, because I don't like nobody to be taken advantage of. No children, no innocent people.
Yeah, I gotta say, it does make a hard sell to believe that MAGA suddenly cares about the Iranians when, I mean, I don't know any other group of citizens other than the white South Afrikaners that MAGA has shown an affection to. Why all of a sudden is the Iranians getting so much love? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. When you told them that they was playing, they was playing their religious music in Dearborn, Michigan, they was pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about them damn people.
Well, in the comment section, Straight Talk Commerce says, you have zero frame of reference. Any idea what he might mean by that?
I have no idea, but I do know that I have been around the world. I've been to many of those Middle Eastern countries that are now being attacked by other Middle Eastern countries because America has infiltrated the other ones by using money.
Mm. So how do you?
Frame of reference, and I've lived right down the street from Dearborn. I used to walk over there to go to the movie theater. So I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Frame of reference. I used to live down the street from Dearborn. I know about a lot of this stuff that's happening personally.
Fair enough, and because he's claiming you have not paid attention, but I'm thinking the same thing. If there's one thing that is the liberals in particular have been voicing in regards to their opinion towards MAGA from day one, they've been saying MAGA does not have empathy. Most of it's been towards the way ICE has been treating folks and things, but the liberals have been accusing MAGA of not having empathy from day one. So I don't understand how all this love for the Iranians just materialized out of nowhere. I just, I'm going to put it in the category of it doesn't make sense. Why all of a sudden is the Iranians somebody we care about so much? I don't.
I'll help put it into context for them. They are the same people who were celebrating that Trump was going
You may have.
not going to care about other people. He was just going to concentrate on helping the American people. That's what a lot of them voted him in office. Remember that, Tim?
Yeah, yeah. You're talking about America first.
We don't care about other countries. We got veterans living on the streets in America. We need to help them. And what did you always say from the beginning, Tim? It don't matter what the hell we do. What extra money? Remember, we giving extra money to bring on Ukraine when we could be taking care of our soldiers. Now that we stopped giving to Ukraine, guess where that money went to? Straight to the Middle East and to Israel. That's where the money went.
And you're right. That is something I said is that if we get Trump in there and we stop giving money overseas and we stop all this, it ain't going to go to your pocket. You're still not going to get tuition forgiveness. You're not going to get universal health. These are, when you say America first, these are things that would benefit primarily Americans. And there is no sort of even mention of doing any America first for the right just seems to be pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I mean, we're not going to help anybody else out, and we're going to tell you to figure it out your damn self. And somehow, some way, that appears to be what they mean by America first.
And so now, guess what? The gas prices have started going back up, and they not remember they was like, Biden said the cost of gas was going up because of war. That's not true. Now we actually see war affecting gas prices, and I guarantee you they're gonna be like, well, that ain't Trump's fault.
Well, there is some news that came in I want to discuss real quick, but before I do, Jenny in the comments says, yet you support illegal immigrants. Shut the fuck up. Now, I don't know if he's talking about me or you or a combination of us both, but the news I wanted to tell you is right before I came on live, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes ago, I saw it on one of the Fox affiliates, is that the Iranians have threatened to, not threatened, but they said the Strait of Hormuz is now closed. So that is a huge oil route, obviously, for cargo ships. And they stated any ship that goes through there will be set ablaze. So obviously, if that happens, the price of oil is going to skyrocket.
They've already started. They've already attacked a couple of the ships, and that's where all of the Middle Eastern countries that pump the oil, they all have to send their oil down through the Straits of Hormuz to get out into the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. Well, Straight Talk is saying it would not be closed for long. Are the Iranians that easy to put in their place?
Listen, 20% of the world's global oil movement for a couple of days is a fucking problem. They don't understand. He has no point of reference. He's saying it won't be for long. That's like saying somebody cut off the electricity in your house for a week. Is it going to be a problem for you and your family?
It won't be for long. You're only going to freeze for a few days. I know it's below zero, but give us a few days, a little bit of short-term pain for long-term gain. I will just say this in regards to obviously the U.S. has far more military might than Iran, but just
No doubt, no doubt.
dump a ton of mines in that strait,
Exactly.
and that's it. All they got to do is go through. Then you can blow up whatever you want to blow up. The mines are still in there. You could be spending months or weeks looking for fucking mines. So it is shut down. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
The Iranians have been preparing for this possibility for decades. They knew their only last resort to get back at anybody who tried to attack them was to shut that. They've always said that. So you don't think that they have multiple ways of doing it? You think that there's somebody standing, on the pier controlling that shit? They got people in boats. They got mines. They got all kinds of shit over there that they can do it.
Yeah. Now, another thing that came in, I seen not long before I came on live as well, and I see in the comments somebody's telling me to shut up and get to the front lines. I mean, okay, don't spam, by the way, whoever the hell that is. I won't block you yet, but it looked like you were on a spammer mission. If you spam, I got to take you out. The amount of service personnel that have lost their lives, I believe, has bumped up to 6. So
Yeah.
the remains of 2 more have been found. Do you now look at the end of the day? Some folks are saying that Iran was, possibly going to get a nuclear weapon, and that would pose some sort of threat to U.S. interests abroad. Do you see what these U.S. Soldiers are doing? I think these were either Army or Marines that got killed at the base. But do you see this as a noble cause, fighting for our freedom? Do you believe they died fighting for a noble cause, fighting for the freedom of Americans? What say you?
I say no, it's not a noble cause. I give deference to all military personnel because we volunteered and we do a job. But nobody wants to know that their loved one or anybody was hurt or killed
True.
because somebody possibly in the future could have done something to us. That's our stuff was supposed to be about imminent threat.
Yeah.
Iran, nowhere in the near future would ever be able to touch a hair on an American's life on the mainland.
Well, they're
Because we was protecting Israel, another country.
yeah. Well, their belief is that Iran was on the cusp of developing, I guess, not only nuclear weapons but hypersonic that could somehow, some way, I guess, reach.
I'm sure that you have it. You probably have to find it. You probably won't play it right now, but just play them the video of Bibi Netanyahu for 30 years coming to America and all over the globe saying they're a month away from a bomb. They're 2 weeks. They're a week. They're a year. They've been saying that all this time. And we know for a fact because President Obama struck a deal with them for them to give away any weapons grade uranium, and they can only use it for energy purposes. And we know it because we had inspectors there verifying that they had dropped any type of plans for weapons. Trump came in and destroyed the whole thing because he said he wanted them to do more. He said he wanted them to stop developing mid-range weapons, which no country that wants to defend itself is just going to stop.
Right. We want them to be completely defenseless. But shout out to Bibi Netanyahu, because not only did he get us to go into Iran, he got us to go into Iraq by telling us they had weapons of mass destruction too. So Netanyahu's been able to convince Americans to do a hell of a lot. Not only that, but paying our own blood, treasure, and financial costs to do his bidding. So Netanyahu's been very, very successful in getting us to not only spend money, but spend American blood.
Yes, he has been very effective. They have used the Holy Bible to control the biggest military power the world has ever seen.
And I was working right along with Trump, just like it did with Bush and the rest of the presidents. So,
yeah.
I mean, how about this? I saw this in the comments section right after Iran was attacked by the United States this weekend. Somebody in the comments, this was on a Fox News video, so I'm assuming this may have been a right-wing viewer, but they stated in the comments no matter who we vote for, we get Netanyahu. So it don't matter who you vote for, you gonna still be doing this man's bidding. Do you see it like that?
I do not, because America has a lot more influence over Israel than we don't exactly exert that strength. Biden and Kamala has started exerting some of that. Remember when we pulled back on the heavy,
Yeah, but they were still chanting. I mean, I'm talking about the progressives. They were still chanting "Genocide Joe has got to go." So even the left thought Biden was doing too much.
They were moving towards being tougher. Remember, Obama
Yeah.
was tough on that.
Yeah, Obama was a bit tough. Let me ask you this: Kamala Harris, I wouldn't do anything different than Biden. What do you think would be the outcome? What do you think we would be right now in terms of Iran and in our relationship with Netanyahu if we were dealing with President Harris?
Well, if you take a look at her speeches, she had already started moving away from Joe Biden, being leaning more on Israel to stop doing what they were doing. It's hard to say what would have happened over time, but I definitely know she would not have attacked Iran on behalf of Israel.
Yeah, I'm not.
They would have had to do it on their own.
Last question.
They don't have the capabilities to take out Iran by themselves.
Fair enough. Last question. Would Maduro still be in charge down in Venezuela?
Yes, he would still be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tend to agree.
We might have tried to come to some agreement with him, which he's a hard negotiator. Who knows? But I think when you start taking steps like Trump is taking, and you don't know what the final outcome is, I think a lot of presidents were kind of scared or nervous about just doing what Trump is doing, just doing shit, and then we'll just see what happens. Because one thing I want to let everybody know out there is that Trump has put all of our service members over there in jeopardy. Somebody along the way did not think this plan out to the point that somebody said, well, hey, what if we attack Iran and they attack all of our military bases throughout the Middle East, which is what they did in Bahrain and all of those places, Iraq. Those people, they didn't have the defense of the Patriot missiles like we
Right.
Israel.
Right.
Our bases are out there ass out while we over there spending all of our Patriot missiles and all our tomahawks protecting Israel proper. So the people that get hurt on those bases is the direct responsibility of the commander in chief. So I don't want to hear nobody say no shit about Joe Biden. He lost 13 service members and it couldn't be prevented and all of that shit. This is incompetence to leave all of those bases in the Middle East unprotected.
Well said, Cal. I got to move on, but the moment we cross the 13 mark, I will certainly make a video saying Trump has now surpassed President Biden. Cal, thanks for coming through.
But if you add the people that died in his first administration and you tack these ones on.
Who died in his first administration?
Just take a quick Google search. How many service members died in the service of America during Trump's first administration, and then tack on the 6. And don't forget, it's 6 people dead, but it's like 15 of them in critical condition. So that number is going to go up.
Yeah, that number could go up. Yeah. All right, I got to move it on. Thanks for coming through. Right. Appreciate it. By the way, folks, this is what we are indeed talking about. I took Care right off the start, but that is what we are going to be discussing is President Trump breaking his promises? Now, there's a hell of a lot of people that believe what we're doing in Iran is a noble cause. I get that. An impressive leader, an oppressive dictator, stifling everything from the right to protest to women's rights. So there's a legitimate reason to celebrate or champion Trump's efforts in Iran. However, when I say his campaign promises, that ain't what he campaigned on. He did not campaign on, protecting oppressed citizens worldwide. He campaigned on, as my last caller pointed out, being all about America first, taking care of Americans. Right now, This amounts to taking care of Iranians.
Stop racing to topple foreign, and you understand this, foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with. We want to strengthen old friendships and seek out new friendships.
Have you seen any of that? Have you seen any of that? Strengthening friendships, making new friendships. I thought we just told Canada we don't fucking need them not long ago. Have you seen any? This is a campaign promise. Have you seen any of that? So what I'm saying, simply put, is even if you favor what Trump is doing in Iran, and I'm not taking that away from you, I'm not taking it away from anybody favoring helping out foreign citizens. Even though, as you heard me in my last caller tossing around, I don't personally believe that's the agenda. But listen, if you're there to do something else and foreign citizens benefit from it, they benefit from it. But I don't believe that's because of just the way we've been handling deportations, the way we've been allowing ICE to do what they need to do or what we want them to do, which is just deport every fucking body. Blue One Banks, thank you for the galaxy. Appreciate that. What I'm saying is the lack of empathy from the Trump administration doesn't portray a picture of someone who wants to suddenly help Iranian citizens escape some sort of oppression. It just doesn't come out that way.
Stop racing to topple foreign, and you understand this, foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with. We want to strengthen old friendships and seek out new friendships. Rather than a rigid dogma, we're guided by the lessons of history and a desire to promote stability all over, and strength in our land.
I've read this is the kind of game you run when you're trying to get some pussy. I'm just going to tell you that this is the kind of game you run. Everything you just said, whatever. I'm about to marry you in another year. I'm going to show you the finer things in life. That's what this sounds like. This is game. This is what we refer to in the hood as game. Like stability. We gonna make new friends. Have you seen any of this shit? This man is trying to get some pussy. Let me go back to the box and tap the screen, by the way, get the likes on up. We should be around 20,000. Let your thumbs not be lazy. Weak game says bow down. That ain't weak game. It got him in there. It got him in there. And folks are eating it up. This is panty dropper game. This ain't weak game. This shit worked. He coming back home talking about he got some dome. This worked. This ain't weak. What are you talking about? This is good shit. Tap the screen. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to smash that like button. You know how we do this. We're currently live on Substack, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Our program is, always will be, MAGA friendly. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. This is uncensored programming. Every day, all day. We don't block, ban, or censor any damn body. Regardless of what your political affiliation is, we will protect and reserve your right to free speech. So it does not matter what side of the aisle you're on. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. If you favor this type of uncensored dialogue, feel free to follow the program. If you're watching us on Instagram, Substack, or TikTok right now, and if you're watching us live on YouTube, give your boy a sub. And for you YouTube watchers, I need you guys to smash that like button. I see in the comments, you who says, are you out of your mind? No, I would ask this guy here making this speech, is he out of his mind? Because to me, that sounds like he running game. Let me go back to the box. We'll start it out with Straight Talk Commerce. Good evening, Straight Talk. This man is running game. Straight Talk, what happened to this?
Let me first off, let me thank you for coming by earlier today to my live.
No problem.
That was a very nice honor, and I appreciate it very much. Now, let me first answer this, because Denkow put out a whole bunch of dumb stuff as usual.
Let me get my notes. Let me
help him.
Okay.
Let me help him real quick. Venezuela is set to make more money this year than it has ever made in its nation's history. It has already received in the last 30 days 300 million of 500 million they are set to receive.
Okay.
They are not receiving all the money because they owe people, including United States and several of their neighbors.
Well, first of all,
yes.
let me interrupt you and say this. Just because a nation is making money don't mean it's being shared amongst its people, but keep going.
Does 100%. I totally agree. That's why we went in there, because their people were eating out of dumpsters.
So did we go in there?
It is probably going to be, hold on, it is probably going to be distributed a hell of a lot more fairly and to the people than it was before. If not, we got another issue. We got another problem.
So if it's not distributed properly, you want America to go back in there and do something about it?
Well, we don't have to necessarily go in there. We are definitely going to do something about it.
Where the hell is America first in all this? I'm not arguing with the...
I will tell you. Because for the same reason we went in there. He was part of Cartel of the Soul, meaning he was definitely in the drug trade. And we got rid of that.
What about all the other... What about all the other nations south of the border? Why only Venezuela? The cartel... In fact, the cartel has a bigger presence.
So now you are arguing... Let me get this straight. Now you are arguing that you want us to go into more countries. Make up your damn mind.
I'm going with you. I'm trying to find out where the hell is America first in this.
All right, I tell you what. Here, listen. We'll go into Venezuela, clean that up, and then if you want, we'll go into the next one that you.
And then I'm going to ask the same question again. Where is America first? When are we going to look out for Americans?
We are looking out for Americans.
How?
By the way, hold on. Here's how I know you don't care about that. You mentioned USAID. Not only did the people that were supposed to receive USAID not getting their rice and their corn flour and all of the medications, but it wasn't going to Americans. And you don't care. You're whining about things people were not getting. We shut that program down because the recipients were not getting it.
So what are we doing for the recipients now?
We shut the programs down. Why are we paying for stuff that people that are supposed to get it aren't getting it?
So you're certain that not one single person that needed rice or grain or flour or wheat, none of them were getting this. 100%. Nobody was getting it.
This is what I am certain of. If you think we should be sending billions of dollars per year out to people that are only getting a small portion of that money, I beg to differ. I do not agree with that.
But you're going to spend... Okay.
If we cannot make sure that the people that are intended to receive this food and aid are getting it, then we stop it completely because the wrong people are getting it.
Okay, while you're talking, I'm just looking up because I got Fox affiliate on this. The Israelis are saying they're being attacked right now. Missiles are coming from Iran. But
let's talk about Iran. Let's talk about Iran for a minute.
Real quick, but before you do, though, this whole what you said on USAID baffles me because the solution is all of the money we were sending in the USAID was not going to the proper recipients. So the few that do, now we're going to make it so nobody is. As you say, billions shouldn't be going to that. Think about how much money are we spending?
Listen to me.
Go ahead.
If you would like to revisit it, listen. If your problem is that the right people are not getting fed anymore, we can revisit it when I know that it's not full of fraud.
Why not do that instead of protecting protesters in Iran? I mean, these people are starving to death. These folks can't protest. Why not go help them first?
I was going to talk about Iran. Let's talk about Iran.
Okay.
The Iranian Ayatollah, Iran has been a problem for 46 years. For every president in 46 years, it has been a problem. You were a young boy. I was a young boy when all of that started with the Shah coming to the United States, getting cancer treatment, and they overtook Iran. And ever since then, it has been a thorn in the side. Hezbollah receives 90% of their funding from the Ayatollah. PLO receives 74% of their funding. All of these terrorist organizations operate with the good graces of Iran.
You got a fan, handsome conservative says, God forgive me, Straight Talk is right on this. And I'm not disagreeing with you, Straight Talk, but I will have to ask you this. If this has been the same damn problem since you and I were both little boys, then what the hell was Trump? When Trump made this campaign speech, all of those problems were still going on, yet he was talking about...
He's doing something about it, and I'll tell you why he's doing something about it.
What changed?
They made it personal with Trump.
How?
They sent people here to try to kill our president. That's why.
Where's the evidence of that?
I mean, they said it. They said that they've sent people here.
They said that they won a 2020 election and people were eating cats and dogs. They say wild shit.
No. The Iranian Ayatollah and the people there that he just killed said that they are sending people to take out our president. They said it through their own mouth in their own speeches.
No, you said did they threaten to do? Did they threaten to do this? Wait, hold on. Did they threaten to do this in the future, or have they already done? What are you saying?
No. They have sent people here to take out our president of the United States. You're damn right.
And Debo, I see you in the comments saying, "Yay, shame on you."
Yeah. Hey, look. All he's got to do is give it his best shot. I invite him to go do that. If he thinks that that's the right thing to do, I would love for him to get caught on top of a warehouse trying to take out the president. That'd be the greatest thing.
Oh my God! Let me before you continue. Where did you hear this? That the Iranians claim they had sent somebody to take Trump out. I've never heard this before.
You okay? You want me to bring it up for you? I'll send you some links.
Yeah, send me what you got. I've never. We covered obviously politics all the time, right and left. You're the first. Even MAGA. You're the first MAGA guest I've ever heard say that.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to give you the source that I heard that from. Now, the second part of this is Clinton, Obama, Biden. Obama tried to bribe Iran into acting right. We couldn't give them enough money to stop all the bullshit.
Well, that ain't necessarily true according to all of our allies. According to our allies, the deal Obama made with Iran was following that. That's why when Trump became president the first time and broke the deal.
They were demonstrably not following it.
I'm just telling you what our allies said.
They were enriching uranium. They were building ballistic missiles. So stop.
I'm just telling you our allies made it clear that Iran, when Trump became president the first time and broke the deal under what you're saying that they weren't following it, our allies came forward and said they do not see any evidence of what Trump is saying. They didn't see that. And they don't agree with him on this go round. They don't agree with him on Venezuela. Our allies don't agree with him on any of this shit. Venezuela, none of this.
They were still funding Houthis. They were still funding Hezbollah. Even if Iran wasn't directly responsible for the terrorism, they were funding it. So stop.
That ain't why we did that. That is not why Obama made a deal.
But you're making excuses for Iran now.
No, you're you're moving the goalposts all over the damn place. The deal was for them not to try to develop a nuclear weapon. The Houthis wasn't part of the deal.
Tim,
I'm listening.
You guys moved the goalposts. We needed Iran to stop acting like the largest state of terror, the world's largest aggregator of terrorism. It was Iran. You
ever stop to think your definition of terror could be the next man's definition of self-defense? To a lot of players worldwide, we are the ones that are terrorists. This world police shit for us is terrorism for them.
Agreed. Who do you agree with? Who do you agree with? Do you agree that Iran thinks that they are the greater terrorism?
I think anytime.
The United States of America. Hold on. Do you think that the United States of America is the world's greatest aggregator of terrorism? Which is it?
I think the United States is the world's greatest aggregator of terrorism. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, I'm glad that you're being honest. I mean, that to me is, I don't even know what the fuck to say.
Let me ask you this. Do you favor one nation playing the world's police against the will of most of the other nations? You think that you favor that?
Yes. Yes, I do.
That's terrorism.
No.
You want me to come on your block and tell everybody how they can park, what they can barbecue, what time they can be outside, and if they don't threaten to blow people up? Yes, you are being a terrorist. Nobody wants you on the block doing this. You're doing this against everybody's will.
You look at the police as terrorists. The police come in and they keep the neighborhood safe. right?
No, this is not that straight talk.
It is that.
Okay, keep going.
It is,
I'll
of
tell you
course
why,
it's
but go
that.
ahead. Give me your spill. I'll respond to it, but go ahead.
Well, what I'm saying to you is, listen, if you believe that the United States is terrorizing the world, then what the hell am I going to say to you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing that I can say to you.
Yeah. True. And I'll tell you this. Like I said, if the rest of, like, we paid the cops to be police. The citizens want the police force. The world don't want us to be policing them. Most of the world don't want this. This is a police force that nobody wants. That's different. Also, America, you know damn well, just as much as I do, that America is not policing the world to keep peace. We're doing it for our own benefit. As Trump said,
Wait, stop a second. Stop. Do you clean out your car? Do you mow your lawn?
Yes.
Do you do that for everybody in the block's benefit?
No.
It benefits everybody on the block, but you don't do it for their benefit. You benefit your house, and you benefit your car. You understand? You maintain your car because it benefits everybody else on the road? No. You want to get from point A to point B. What I'm saying to you is sometimes the things you do benefits others, and that's great. But every single time, if you'll just maintain your car, make sure you got headlights, make sure you got a horn. I'll worry about mine.
That's confusing.
But all I want you to do is maintain your own shit.
Let me. Okay. That's a lot of salad, and I don't know if you should put blue cheese or French dressing on that. I don't know what that meant, but let me just tell you this way. If you're doing things like telling Iran that it's wrong to mistreat women or whatever, look, it's not our place to tell them how they should treat their citizens. The same thing with the Christians being persecuted in Nigeria. That's not our place to go do that. By the way, look at our history of persecuting and mistreating people in our own country.
Because we have committed sins, we no longer have the ability to do the right thing. So you're saying because we have formerly sinned, or maybe even we're currently sinning, maybe even we're currently doing the wrong thing, you say that we have absolutely no moral high ground to stand on to tell anybody else what they can or what they cannot do.
Yeah, I say we were given a chance to evolve and set things straight. Give them a chance to do the same thing. You know what you sound like? You sound like the sinner that has found Jesus, and now you're going around with all your friends telling them to stop going clubbing and stop doing shit.
No, here's what I sound
You were just in the club last week, goddammit. What are you doing?
I sound like the guy that comes over to your house and tells you to please stop beating your wife so loud because I'm trying to watch TV over at my house. That's what I sound like.
No. When you start talking about you can't persecute Christians, that ain't got nothing to do with your house. You just over here telling us what to do. If you can go all the way back to the Vietnam War to stop the spread of communism, that's not our job.
Persecuting the Kurds. We stopped the Iraqis from persecuting the Kurds. This has nothing to do with Christian or not.
Yeah.
Was it because they're Christian that you don't want us to
stop
the persecution?
What I'm telling you is that America is trying to dictate how the rest of the world should live and operate. And that is wrong. They should have a right to live the way they want, just like we claim we want. We claim we're the freest nation on earth, but
it infringes upon others. You're saying that we should not have anything to say about anyone else, and that they can do whatever evil they want to their neighbors. They can invade their neighbors. They can set fire to their neighbors. They can destroy their neighbors' oil fields. They can do whatever they want to do, and we should just sit back like every other country and not do a damn thing. That's what you would do.
I say we have what is referred to as the United Nations. If the United Nations views human rights abuses and we all collectively get together, that's what I mean by a police force that the people want versus somebody just playing it on their own. The United Nations is a bunch of global people getting together saying this is wrong. America is now like, we're going to do all this shit on ourselves. Even to the point where the United Nations is like, no, what you guys are doing to these people is wrong.
What was the last time that we did something like that, like you're describing? And we ended up in World War II. Fighting someone who tried his very best to completely annihilate an entire race, nationality, and religious group of people.
So I would submit to you probably a better idea if we nip that kind of stuff in the bud when we can and for as long as we can and fight for our values, because our values are the only ones we can fight for.
Our values is naming detainment centers Alligator Alcatraz and talking about you could get eaten by alligator. That's our values?
That was Democrats that named that. Stop.
Wait. Democrats created Alligator Alcatraz?
No. We created we put we made the detainment facility, and we should have. We have 15.
Who named it Alligator Alcatraz?
Yeah, I was making a joke, but
why do you fuckers always make these jokes about such morbid shit? I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Laugh at somebody's dead grandma because she wore the wrong dress to a funeral?
No. And why is that morbid?
You're talking about people getting eaten by alligators and you're making jokes. That's morbid, yes.
No, Alligator Alcatraz, that's in reference to who's guarding it.
No.
If you leave that facility, you're going to get eaten by alligators.
Right. And
I don't even know why we're talking about that.
Because you're trying to say we got the moral high ground and stuff that don't play into our values yet. We are here talking about people.
We were invaded by 10 to 20 million people. We have every right to remove.
You know what's funny as hell? You view the immigrants coming to America for a better life as an invasion, but what Trump is doing in Iran is not even a fucking war. That's hilarious.
We have not invaded Iran. We have decapitated their leadership, so they are no longer a threat to their neighbors. So that's what we're trying to do.
We got invaded by a bunch of mothers and carrying their babies and shit, but we're literally blowing up shit all over Iran, and that's not a war. But these immigrants coming here often without even shoes on many times. That's an invasion, huh?
Yeah, but here's your problem. You don't like it when we defend our borders the way other countries defend their borders. Try going into Canada illegally.
I don't think
you're not liable to make it. Try going into East Germany or go into Poland or go into, I don't know, Romania illegally.
I guarantee you
to not be alive at the end of before you get in there.
I guarantee you, if you enter Canada illegally, they're not going to send you to prison in El Salvador to some foreign nation in Africa.
Yes, you're right. You're liable to get unalive.
In Canada? The Canadians? Are you kidding? Yes. To be honest with you, I'm going to give you a story of myself because I actually did that. I actually was going to meet somebody in Canada.
It's a very dangerous thing to do.
No, they came and grabbed me and had me stand there and they ran my information, but they didn't. I actually entered Canada up on the far west coast above Seattle. I actually did that. I wanted to take. They got like a post that kind of resembles the Lincoln. What is it? The memorial, the one that goes to a point in D.C. It's a little pole. Yeah, it's only a few feet high, but it says Canada on one side and America on the other side.
Right.
I wanted to stand by that and take a picture, but I unknowingly stepped across the line and entered Canada. And they ran out, the Canadian Border Patrol ran out yelling, "Stop, stop." They grabbed my black ass and ran my ID and let me. They didn't shoot me. They didn't kill me. What are you talking about?
No. That's not what I'm talking about. And you were at a port of entry. You were at a border. If there was someone there watching, they're not going to do that.
Oh my God! But you really think if I sneak across the border in Montana or somewhere up there, they would shoot me? You believe that?
Tim, you do not understand. You are talking to someone who spent 5.5 years in West Germany. I watched, physically saw. I stood on top of the Berlin Wall the night.
Well, that's the Russians, though. That's not a civilized First Nation. You mentioned Canada. You said Canada.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, try going into Iran.
There you go.
Legally.
There you go. For what you're talking about to work, you got to come up with them draconian third world and oppressive nation. Third world.
No, try to go into Israel.
No.
Try to go into Israel over the border, see what happens.
But Israel is constantly at war. France, Germany, Spain. You're not.
Try going into Cuba. What happened when we had people got too close to Cuba? I mean, what example do you want? Give me an example you'll accept.
Any NATO member nation, with the exception of, let's try all of the Western civilization nations, all the Westernized nations.
Good. Okay. Yes, Finland. Try
Finland ain't
going
gonna kill you. They're not gonna kill you
God,
doing
man,
that.
You have never. And by the way, go into Australia. Try going to Australia.
I lived in Australia for 5 years.
You didn't get there illegally.
No, but I watched the news like I do here, and they had a major illegal immigration problem from Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Somalia. They didn't kill any of them damn people.
How long did it take you to get through? Out of curiosity, how long did it take you to get through customs in Australia?
To get through, just to come in the country and visit?
Yeah. No. From outside, you go through customs to get into the country. To get into the country, how long did it take you?
I mean, shit, I don't know. Once you get off the plane and you get your luggage, I'd say less than an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did it at least about 10 times. I mean, less than an hour. One time I came in.
I'm very curious because I've gone through customs in Mexico. Sometimes it takes me 4 hours. Sometimes it takes me 15 minutes.
Yeah, because you a fucking gringo. They scared of you. I gotta move it on, but I'll tell you a story.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story before I move it on. One time they did say they swabbed your bag and they said they detected cocaine on it and shit. They held me for about 4 or 5 hours. I was making jokes because I was like, please don't fucking put nothing on my shit. That was about the longest time it took me to get in Australia. But normally about an hour or so once you get your bags. Straight talk.
What I'm saying to you, listen, what I'm saying to you is other countries, you don't mind other countries protecting their borders. You don't mind it when other countries do not allow people illegally to just stream into their country. But for some reason, you believe that we should open our borders to every swinging dick that wants to come in here. And I don't.
Okay, well, just to correct you, I don't believe crossing the border illegally should be a capital offense. I'm okay with it.
It's not.
Well, if you're talking about alligators and crazy shit and shooting them in the leg and putting drowning machines in the water, yeah, they weren't talking about that.
You come into the country illegally. We're going to detain you until we remove you. But look, I want to end this way. I definitely, again, I appreciate the effort that you made today. Seriously, you're a good dude.
Thank you
for doing that.
Good shit. Come on back anytime.
Good to talk to you again.
Straight talk. Appreciate it. And by the way, anytime I'm not doing my own lives, I'm generally in MAGA-oriented lives. I enjoy talking to MAGA. You know, I'm a glutton for punishment, whatever the case may be. But yeah, he's right. I came in his live, spent a good half hour more. I don't mind that. Anyway, tap the screen. Get your gallon up to 30 thou. Let your thumbs not be lazy. This is MAGA-friendly programming, but liberals are welcome as well. President Trump, you see, we've been asking the question of promises made, promises broken. Does it appear that President Trump is doing a 180 on his campaign promises? I'm going to tell you my own humble opinion based on the tons of available clips in existence. That does appear to be so. Now, MAGA's happy. I get it. MAGA's going to be happy no matter what. But his campaign promises sound different than what he's actually doing right now.
We will stop racing to topple foreign, and you understand this, foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with. We want to strengthen old friendships and seek out new friendships. Rather than a rigid dogma, we're guided by the lessons of history and a desire to promote stability all over, and strength in our land. This destructive cycle of
seeking out new friendships, stability. We're not going to, foreign governments, we're not going to get involved with governments. Does any of this sound like what you're seeing from the first year of Trump's second term? Are you seeing any of this? Because I'm going to tell you, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't appear to be what I'm seeing, but I want you guys to let me know. Badass Boss, aka Gangster Grandma, good evening.
I can't stand you. You stay fluffing, don't you? Now you need to say thank you for all the gifts I got for you. You didn't say that.
I didn't see the shit. I didn't see it.
I bet you did. I bet you did. And then keep the same damn energy. When I call you the N-word, let the white man call you.
Okay,
Keep the same damn energy. You understand me?
Why do you want to call me the N-word? Why do you want to call me the N-word? Why do you want to call me the N-word?
Because you are my... Never mind. I can't say it.
Well, listen. I didn't have an issue with you saying it the first time. You was on time number 4 by the time I started voicing concern.
Keep the same damn energy to the white man. Keep it. When they're in the comments and stuff, you keep the same damn energy. You punk ass.
Why I gotta be a punk ass?
Because you're a punk ass.
Gangster.
Now,
Gangster.
let's get to the topic.
Okay, before we get to the topic, what does it take to make you be nice to me, baby? What does it take?
I ain't your baby.
How the hell that happened? God.
Because they reported me.
Yeah, you getting hate, but okay. Yeah. What does it take to get you just to be nice one day?
If you quit fluffing and get off your knees for the white man, quit sucking on his tinky winky.
How about if I show up? How about if I show up with some roses and the knee pads for you?
No, I don't like that. No, that's ghetto as hell.
Okay, well, you call me. Well, you call me an N-word. With all due respect, I thought you liked ghetto.
I call you what I call your ass. And I'm the only one that should better be calling you. But unfortunately, you let the white man do it. But you don't have no hate for that shit. But oh God forbid, a black woman does it. Oh, cry baby. Oh. I gotta drop you.
Well, Edge Bike in the comments says, boy, that woman is very racist. Mentioning you.
You know what, the white man. Okay, let me tell you something. For one, we cannot be racist. Now, we could be prejudiced and shit. Oh, yeah, get your eyeballs.
You're crazy. You can't. What are you telling me? Black people can't be racist? Wait a minute.
No, let me tell you something. Shut the fuck up. On God. Get off your knees.
Wait. Let me make sure I'm hearing this clearly. Hold on, hang on. Before you continue, I want to make sure I'm hearing this clearly. Are you trying to indicate that black people cannot be racist?
We really can't.
That's crazy. The hell you can't.
Are we in power, though?
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Are we in power, numbnut? Are we? You bag of fucking dum-dums? Are we in power?
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
The white team man did it. So get the hell out of here.
Being racist has nothing to do with whether you're...
made the shit. Do you realize... let me tell you something. The white man made racism, okay? The white man made it. Oh, if I call him a white boy, oh, you racist. Oh, if I say white man, you're racist.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I think you're crazy, and I see Will G.
You know what? A lot of my chocolate men always knows I'm fucking crazy, but I know that they know that I put them in their place.
Well,
so shut your ass up.
Okay, well let's get on track. Mr. G says Trump ain't shit. Says 6 troops gone so far. So we've lost 6 troops. Do you blame Trump for the loss of these service personnel?
Yep. Blood is on his hands. Yep. And we didn't have to go in there.
Well,
have to save a hoe.
Well, I mean, listen, they were reportedly mistreating their own citizens pretty badly.
Okay, and we mistreat ours. What the fuck you want? Look what we're doing to black and brown people.
What is happening? What are you talking about?
Hold on for huh?
What are you talking? How are we mistreating our own citizens? What are you talking about?
What do you mean? How is the white team man is over here kicking people out of our damn country? That's not mistreating.
They don't have a legal right to be here. They don't have a legal right to be here. They can kick them out.
What the fuck about? We don't have no legal right to be here. You know what? The white man don't have no legal right to be here. And anybody could be in this land because it was stolen from the indigenous people and the indigenous Mexicans. So shut your ass up. So why can't the white man go bye-bye?
So what are you saying? Because white men colonized America, anybody can come here now?
Okay, let me break this shit down to you. I want to do this for the last fucking damn time, okay? They stole this land. They did.
That's hundreds of years. That's hundreds of years ago.
Okay, and guess what? United States, they're paying for it. Do you know why? Do you know why the white man gives the indigenous people money for their land? Because they stole it.
So
this is why.
So what you're saying then is because white men stole this land. Nope, they can't stop anybody from coming here. They're wrong to criticize anybody.
That's right. They stole the shit. They stole it.
You
know what, Uncle Tom? You know what, you Uncle Ass Ruckus? Let me tell you, so get off your knees. That cock isn't looking too good for you.
Gangsta girl, do you not realize that most nations were conquered or stolen from somebody else?
By what? By who? By who?
By other nations. No, that's not true.
White man.
No, because many African nations were formed through a lot of African nations.
White man.
That's not just. Why do you want? You got white man derangement syndrome. It's not just white men.
Okay, Tim. You know, you have that white cock so up deep in your asshole. I mean, do you feel it anymore? Are you so gapped up you can't feel it no more?
And young Bryce says personal racism versus institutional racism. That I can agree with. Now that makes more sense.
Let me tell I know my history. I know it. See, you're so uneducated. You have a platform. You have a platform that you're not even educated on.
No.
You're not. You sit up here, you let it, like, oh my God, straight talk is so fucking butt ugly. I shit you not. I seen him today.
What?
His teeth were caught in the sun. Oh,
Why would you?
His whole head is so big. He looks like his head is bigger than his body. Oh God. Like, have you ever seen that alien show? Oh my God. I was like, oh, I fuck you nuts.
They took Gangsta Grandma off. Listen, by the way, folks, we don't block, ban, or censor, but I can't stop the apps from doing it. Gangsta Grandma got taken off in the middle of that spiel she was giving. Gangsta Grandma's always, or Betty, what is it, Badass? I think the name she's used. You're always welcome back, but I can't stop the folks from reporting you and taking you down, but you're always welcome back on the program. Leave Straight Talk alone. That was horrible. But listen, she says the same thing about me, so she's going to swing hard no matter what. She says the same thing about me. Anyway, let's continue on with the program. I need you guys to tap the screen. We should be around 40,000. Tap the screen, get the lights on up. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube, I'm going to solicit to you to smash that like button. It helps out the algorithms, bring in more MAGA. So if you're watching us on YouTube, I need you to tap that like button. It doesn't cost you much. We got multiples in here of what the actual likes are. So some of you folks, show your boy some love, tap that like button. But young Brycey, I do agree with you. There is a difference between personal racism and institutional racism. That I agree with 100% because one party is not in position of power to have institutional abilities to be institutionally racist. But you still can be personally racist, which is why I disagree with the notion that blacks cannot be racist. I do believe blacks can be racist. Do they have the power, the institution behind them? No. So good distinction. I appreciate that. Tap the screen, get us up to 40,000. We'll take the next caller. Looking in the comments, what is personal racism? Link, hate. Hate is personal racism. Look, you can actually have let's say, for instance, a Chinese guy moves into your neighborhood and you and a few of your friends don't like Asians and you beat them up on the way to school every damn day. You don't have any institutional powers behind you at all, but you guys are personally fucking racist. You can do it on a personal level. It can absolutely be done on a personal level. Happens all the time. I mean, what happens inside of our penal, and thank you for that, whoever did C. Osby, appreciate that. That's what happens inside of our penal institutions, is people that have no systemic power being personally racist. That's why all of the groups are separated. It's a lot of personal racism going on. So yeah, it can definitely happen at that level. Now, Sabrina is saying that's prejudice. To me, I don't make distinctions between bigotry, prejudice, hate, and race. I group all this shit up together because if a white person is prejudiced towards a black person, blacks are gonna call them a racist. They're not gonna be making those distinctions. So when black people are doing it, I'm not gonna make the distinctions either. But if somebody is being bigoted or prejudiced towards a black is gonna say they're racist. They're not gonna make all those distinctions like that. Looking in the comments here, honestly, she doesn't know history because Asians come across the Lamb Bridge way. Wait a minute, the Asians come across the Lamb Bridge way before anybody else in this country. So the heritage was from Asia, not from Mexico. I'm going to tell you this in regards to folks not knowing history, what you're talking about there, Peter, and things like that. A lot of Americans don't properly know history, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm some historian either. The way we teach history in this country has a lot to do with that, and that is racism. That's why a lot of Americans don't know their fucking history right, is because you got to become an adult and do all kinds of research because the shit they taught you in schools was inaccurate. So, yeah, there's a hell of a lot of Americans that don't know their history because the schools deliberately omit and not tell you the truth on shit. Not. I mean, right now, President Trump is taking all sorts of exhibits down and stuff like that. All sorts of things he's removing. So yeah, so now the children may have taken a field trip to one of these exhibits, and now the teacher can give them a lesson and ask them, test and quiz where they can learn history. The exhibit ain't there no more. So yeah, there's all kinds of shit like that. I mean, we can talk about the Confederate statues. Each one of them statues has a plaque at the bottom of it describing who that person is on the statue. You think that plaque is an honest portrayal of history? I mean, so no, there's all kinds of shit in this country. So yeah, history, a lot of Americans don't know the history. And I think that was intentional. That was intentional. Anyway, let me go back to the box, whitewashing the education system. So be it. Tap the screen. We'll take the next call at 40,000. Natives have Asian in them, says Young Brycey. Fair enough. What recent black politician exhibited racism? Well, shit. Some people might suggest the Supreme Court justice known as Clarence Thomas. What recent black politician exhibited racism? Depends on what you want to say is racist. I mean, I'd have to hear your spiel on it because it comes from both sides. I mean, there are blacks that exhibited on the Democrat side. There's a few blacks on the Republican side that exhibited as well. So I'd have to hear from where you're going with that. The UK abolished slavery in the 1800s. They spent 40% of their income enforcing anti-slavery law. They freed thousands of black slaves from ships. The UK stopped paying the debt in 2015. Wow. I didn't know that. I did not know. I know they stopped it before we did, but I didn't know all that. Manifesting as unequal treatment in employment, housing, or public services, and can involve overt actions and systemic biases embedded in policies and institutions. Fair enough. And somebody asked me, Mal for you says, where did you grow up? You sound so ignorant. Well, Mal, correct me where you think I'm wrong. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Anyway, going back to the box, we'll go ahead and go to the next caller. I need you guys to tap the screen, get us on up to 40,000. Straight Talk wakes up and gargles lies. Damn. Straight from the orange man's scrotum and regurgitates that bullshit, then expects us to believe it. That's a mouthful, CGOG Kush. That is a lot there. Holy shit. Gargles it. Oh, my Lord, bless his heart. We'll have to follow up Straight Talk with the handsome conservative. Good evening, handsome. So you actually agreed with your boy Straight Talk Commerce, correct?
You don't know how much that hurt me. You don't understand. I'm still feeling the pain. Okay.
But I do have to ask you, now you're a conservative. You only voted for Trump once, right?
That's correct. Okay. The first time.
Do you now? What I've been playing here? Have you been here and heard this clip I played?
I did not. I'm sorry. I was cooking dinner.
Okay, well, I want you to play this because this may add some seasoning to what you're about to eat, and I want to get your take on it. It's not 30 seconds or so.
Up racing to topple foreign, and you understand this. Foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with. We want to strengthen old friendships and seek out new friendships. Rather than a rigid dogma, we're guided by the lessons of history and a desire to promote stability all over.
Now, these are his campaign promises. And by the way, Molly Jacobs, feel free to come on up. As Bob Barker, the late Bob Barker once said, come on down, she's saying, why do we talk to the same people? This is who requests. Molly, you can come on up. I'll make you next. So I want to ask you, Straight Talk. This is his campaign promises. Now, you favor what Straight Talk said.
Did you just call me Straight Talk?
Well, because I'm about to tie you into Straight Talk. Conservative, you favor what Straight Talk said. How do you feel? This is his campaign promises. Is he living up to this?
No, he's not living up to it. Tim, we have been down this road so many times. I don't believe Republican or Democrats' campaign promises. Okay, that's exactly what they are, is promises to get elected. They have no intention of keeping them. Do I think that he meant it at the time? Yeah, probably, but I don't know what he knows now that we don't know.
Well,
I mean, he may have information that we don't have because he's the president.
well, but the problem is he's already served as president once, and the reasons that he's citing for going into Iran, they've been citing those reasons for 20 plus years. So at the time he made those campaign promises, everything that's wrong with Iran in his eyes now was wrong with Iran then.
Okay.
So was he incompetent? Did he not? Was he ignorant on what was going on in the world?
Well, let me ask you this. That clip you played, is that from this time for him running, or is that from the first time he ran?
I believe this is, well, I mean, see, that's a good question. It is, shit, it just went away. I do want to bring that back up. I believe it's from.
Stop racing to topple.
I'm trying to see the actual, how old is this clip? And my computer is doing all sorts of weird shit here. But it might be from.
I would just say this. If it's from the first time that he was president, when he first got elected, he knows stuff now that is happening now.
This clip is 6 years ago. So this would be from before the first time.
Okay, so new information has come to light. I don't know what it is. I'm not the president. So, I mean, I can't, you're asking me about why he's doing it. I assume my answer would be, I don't know. I don't have that information. I don't, what I came up for was to talk about them blowing up the oil tankers and stuff, because I had an opinion on that. But
wait, you talking about in the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I came up.
Okay, go ahead. Give me your spiel on it. I'm curious.
Well, it appears to me that this is going to be a problem because
it's meant to be.
It's not just Iran. It's not just oil from Iran, or it's from all other countries that over there, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, they're trying to drag as many people. They're trying to drag as many people into the conflict as they can. I mean, I get it, because Trump is killing people. Trump is not just trying to change the regime; he's killing people. So these folks are desperate. They're gonna do whatever they can. He's killing folks.
Okay. And I hear what you're saying. I'm not disrespecting your opinion at all. Mm-hmm. But I would just like to point this out. The dumbest thing in the world, while you are fighting a power like the United States of America, with the equipment that we have, okay, the dumbest thing in the world is to bring other countries into the fight against you because you're sinking their oil ships. That makes no sense.
Yeah, but you're assuming that if they close the Strait of Hormuz and start sinking ships, that Iran, a lot of countries may say, look, Iran wouldn't be doing this if you weren't fucking with them. Iran may not get the blame.
And I disagree, and here's why. I'm going to tell you why. I disagree because there's one thing that matters to all countries, and that's money, okay? When you start fucking with another country, not just America, but when you start fucking with other countries' money over there where that strait is, okay, they're not going to be on your side. They're going to be, hey, we weren't attacking you, and now you're sinking our ship and costing us whatever a tanker is worth, and you're preventing us from money.
I would be more inclined to somewhat see your point and agree with you if it wasn't a Christian nation like America and Israel talking about dominating the region. So you don't want Iran. This is what I'm telling other Middle Eastern players. You don't want, you're pissed off at us for what we're doing with these ships. So you're gonna get rid of us and leave our region up to Americans and the Jewish people. Because that's who's going to take it. What they're going to do is going to be way worse in terms of your religion, your way of life, and all of that, compared to these ships you're complaining about.
Let me say this. Couple of things. One, America is not a Christian nation. Believe me when I tell you, I wish it was. If you think
70% of Americans are Christian. 70% of Americans are Christian.
Okay, but having 70% of America be Christian is not the same as the entire country being ran by, say,
Yeah,
a
but they
Christian
don't.
king or something like that.
Yeah, but conservative, they looking at it from the outside in. We're talking about God all the time. It's on our money. It's before every sport event we play. For outsiders looking in, America looks Christian as hell. I mean, you're here on the ground, you can make that statement. But to outsiders, we look exceptionally Christian. You swear in on the Bible, everything we do to outsiders look like that's a Christian nation.
Well, now hold on a second. Before Trump came in this time, okay, I would have agreed with you on that. But remember, Trump didn't swear in on the Bible this time.
No, but it's
So
there. His
now
wife is
we're
holding
starting
it.
to lose that
Yeah,
too.
but his wife is standing right next to him holding it. He just didn't put his hand on it.
Right. His wife was holding it. He didn't hold it. He didn't put his hand on it.
And real quick, Straight Talk is disagreeing with Straight Talk. I've actually shown the photo. Handsome conservatives are 100% right. The first time Trump became president, he swore in on the Bible. The second time, he did not. There's a clear photo of him out there. I don't know why you would disagree with that. That was I think Melania's wearing powder blue or something. I mean, I've put the photo on many times. He didn't swear on it. He said there is a reason. We don't care what the reason is. Go ahead, conservative. He said there's a reason.
I just want to say something to Straight Talk, all right? Just real fast. And don't worry, I'm going to be real nice, okay? Trust me, when it comes to watching a president get sworn in, I'm a Christian, okay? I always, to me, putting your hand on the Bible is very important, okay? Believe me when I tell you, he really did not do it the second time. I'm not trying to cause problems, man. I'm just being honest with you.
I think they tried to say that it happened in the spur of the moment or some kind of excuse they're giving Trump for why he didn't put his hand on the Bible.
Excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got one. I got you.
Yeah.
But back to the ships, man. The ships. When you fuck with a country's income and oil is at an all-time high, gas is going up. It's going up here where I'm at. And it's going to continue to go up. Food has even gone up this month because of having to ship it in and stuff like that.
But let me ask you, did Trump do the right thing with Iran there?
Did Trump do the right thing about taking out the, what is it called, the Ayatollah?
Well, yeah, but they're gone and we still bombing them. So there's a lot more than just taking out the Ayatollah.
Well, as far as the Ayatollah goes, which I think is their version of a president, I think that's their version of a leader. By taking him out, absolutely. I got no problem with taking him out. That dude is seriously evil.
Yeah, but conservative. There's a lot of quote unquote seriously evil leaders around the country. Kim Jong-un is seriously evil, and Trump went over there and shook his hand.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up. Had we done what we needed to do in North Korea, no disrespect, Kim Jong-un right now would not be sitting on nuclear weapons. Had we not bowed out, had we not kissed ass, I can't remember who was in office at the time. It could have been Trump, could have been Biden, I don't know. But had we not kissed his ass, we wouldn't have had a madman with nuclear weapons. So my statement stands. The dude is seriously evil. And as far as Kim Jong-un goes, do some research on what happens when somebody crosses the border from North Korea.
Yeah, hold on. I'm not disagreeing that if you cross the border illegally and enter into one of these third world or dictator-like countries, the punishment is draconian. But you notice we often have to compare our border to the border of Russia or North Korea. You never compare it to France, or what happens if you enter Germany, or what happens if you enter Norway illegally? Because the civilized nations don't do that shit. You always got to bring up these horrible dictatorships to make a point.
I'm going to be fair with you. I'm going to try to be fair with you, okay? Honestly, it's pretty much like this in my opinion, okay? The countries that are run by religious extremists like Iran, okay, or North Korea, or any of the other countries that have draconian laws like that, okay? Yeah, they're going to be different than the countries that are free, like the UK. Well, they used to be free, and America and stuff like that.
Yeah, but even the UK, even the UK that you claim used to be free, they don't have ICE roaming around their countries, going in people's houses and doing all the shit that Trump is doing. They're not treating that stuff is only in places like Iran and some countries you were naming.
You know what they do have?
What?
You want to talk about it? We can talk about it. They have a law where they can come in and arrest you if you type anything online that is considered hate speech, is considered offensive. I follow people from the UK on TikTok. That is an actual law. They arrest you if you are outside of an abortion clinic holding a sign up stating your opinion about abortion. They arrest you if you start preaching Christianity outside on the, outside in public. These are things that I...
Wait. If you're preaching Christianity in public, they arrest you in the UK. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And
I don't believe that.
Agree with me. Before you don't agree with me, I follow people from the UK on TikTok, and I'm telling you, they are shown videos of people being arrested for preaching outside.
I'm going to tell you could be in the UK and Americans are telling you that citizens are getting deported by ICE. I mean, there are going to be citizens in the country that will tell you stuff that is not true. I'd have to see what you're talking about coming from a reputable news source. You can't preach Christianity in public? I'd have to see that.
I'm talking about they're showing, now understand when I say they're showing this is what I mean. They're recording it on their phones and they're putting it up on TikTok. So it's not hard to find. It is really not hard to find. And it's live footage, dude. I mean, well, it's not live. They're recording it and putting it
I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to
lost a lot of rights in the UK.
I hear what you're saying, but I could tell you right off the bat, there are people in other countries right now watching the footage that's being, as you say, live footage that's being shown about what happened in Minnesota and things like that. And they probably got an opinion of ICE that is not based on reality. They probably think ICE is just going around shooting people. Citizens of a country that can make you think something is true that's not happening. I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe preaching Christianity is going to get you arrested in the UK. I don't believe that.
I encourage you, with all due respect, I encourage you to look it up, to watch the videos yourself and make up your own mind. I can only tell you what I saw. And I'm trying to be fair and honest with you. But this isn't about the UK. Honestly, this is, I wanted to get onto the oil situation.
Okay, we got a few minutes. A
ton of money. That's going to cost countries a ton of money. And when you fuck with a country's income like that, they're not going to be on your side. They're going to jump in and start attacking.
And like I said, if it wasn't a tag team between the United States and Israel in the Middle East, I would agree with you that they would put money above it. But you're going to go after Iran, and you do understand it's the United States and Israel on the other side. You're going to put money above an incident that the United States and Israel. So I don't think the Middle East is going to come. I don't think it's going to come out like you're saying. There's too many people in the Middle East that don't like Israel in particular, and I think everybody knows, even in America, despite what Trump is saying, is that Israel is behind the bombing of Iran. Everybody in the Middle East, I think, feels that way.
Now, Tim, we've went over this, man. I told you I was the first one to admit to you that I saw live footage of Israel starting the attack before America jumped in. I have always been honest with you. Okay. I saw the footage of them starting the war, starting the attack with planes and missiles, and then America jumped in to defend their ally. That was the excuse that America used.
But let me just say this.
That's what they needed.
Yeah, and by the way, for my YouTube watchers, I really need you guys to tap that like button. We got hundreds of you folks in here. Tap the like button if you're watching on YouTube. But what has just come out is that the United States and Israel had been following the Khomeini. They had been tracking him for months. So based on, okay, they don't kill the guy that they've been tracking for months. What is all this bullshit about? Well, as Trump said, they weren't coming to the negotiating table. You guys were going to kill this motherfucker. You've been tracking this dude to find a good time to kill him. So all this, they not coming to the negotiating table. Trump said, I don't like what they're saying at the negotiating table. You weren't negotiating with this dude. You were trying to find an opportune moment to kill him and then begin bombing Iran. I mean, so just hearing that shows that Trump and Netanyahu has been disingenuous about the whole plan to begin with.
Well, first of all, and I'm going to say this, I can hear what you're going to say already, but I'm going to just flat out say it. This is for two things. One, Trump already told you before this whole negotiating thing started, he was looking for a reason, right. And what he wants to do, and my brother disagrees, but what he wants to do is he wants to replace the government of Iran. That is the truth. I don't care what else he said. That's what he said first. That's what I heard him say. Now, second of all, I don't give a fuck if it's Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, Democrat, Republican, progressive. Every one of those sons of bitches that you or I vote in receive millions of dollars paid to them by AIPAC, which is Israel. Yeah. So no matter who's in office, you will always have somebody serving Israel, no matter who it is. And that is a fact you can look up.
But I do have to ask you, President Harris, Kamala Harris, if that was our president, I know you absolutely did not want her in office. I get that. But if President Harris was
I love the woman.
Huh?
I love the woman. Go ahead.
You didn't love her as president, though. You didn't want her to be president. So
I'm joking.
Right, we know that. But so what I'm asking you, if President Harris was our current commander in chief, would Maduro be out of power and Iran be currently under an invasion? Would those things have been happening under President Harris?
Yeah. Yes, and I'll
really?
tell you why.
You think Harris would have took Maduro out of power?
Absolutely. Can I tell you why?
Please.
Okay, here's the reason why. Again, it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or a Republican in office. Whoever is in charge, meaning the presidency, okay, the president's office, okay, whoever is in charge, they are getting blackmailed by AIPAC. So whoever it is, if you get money from AIPAC, which is Israel.
What the hell does AIPAC got to do with wait, what the hell does AIPAC got to do with Venezuela?
Oh, no, I said AIPAC.
I said Maduro. Would Maduro be in power?
I misheard you. I apologize.
I'm asking again. Would Maduro be in power?
I don't think so. I can't prove it. I don't think he would be.
Kamala Harris, the warmonger, huh?
Yeah, I know. I got what you're saying. It just took me a minute. I apologize.
Okay.
But my point is this, and I know you got to let me go, but my point is this, and I want to make this clear. It doesn't matter who you elect. If you get paid off by AIPAC and Israel, okay, you're going to do Israel's bidding. And Israel started the war, okay? That's it. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. Look, they're all getting paid by Israel. So your opinion doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. They're going to work for their boss, which is Israel. And that's a fact.
I'll leave it at that, conservative. Appreciate you coming in as always. Thank you, sir.
No, we're not going to leave it at that. Support your local liberal. Now you can kick me.
Appreciate that, absolutely. By the way, he is correct. Help your boy out with and somebody just did. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap go and hat and mustache. Support the program. I need my YouTubers to smash that like button. We're here generally most weekdays. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. Blue One Banks. Yeah! Appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you. We are MAGA friendly. Always have been MAGA friendly. Always will be MAGA friendly. Here, free speech reigns supreme. We don't block, ban, or censor any damn body. So understand that. You're going to hear opinions from all sides of the aisle. This is uncensored programming. Zero moderators. Zero moderators. So if you like free speech, you're in the right place. If you're currently watching us live on Instagram, TikTok, or Substack, feel free to follow the program. Those are the apps where you can actually be brought up live, where you can actually be one of the voices behind the program. Instagram, Substack, and TikTok. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow it, but nevertheless, if you're on YouTube and you're watching us live there, certainly give your boy a sub and tap that like button. Looking in the comments, how could anyone be blaming Iran for defending themselves, says Link. I'm not in that category. I don't believe that the leadership in Iran were good people. See, Osby, thank you for the hat and mustache. I don't believe that the leadership in Iran were good people. However, there are plenty of people on this earth that don't believe that the folks in our White House are good people. I mean, half of the Western world does not believe that we currently have a good leader in our damn country. That don't mean you go and bomb them and take them out of power. So I don't, look, we can talk about Iran oppressing women, Iran, executing protesters, et cetera, et cetera. Make no mistake about it, whatever your opinion is on Renee Nicole Good or Alex Preddy or any of these other folks, Kilmar Brego Garcia, the world sees this shit. The world has saw that stuff. We don't look like good moral people either. We don't look like we're in good moral standings. So for America to be telling the world we took out the leadership in Iran because he's not morally doing what's right, you're going to have a lot of folks in the Western world asking a simple question. Who the fuck are you? We're talking about the Trump administration. We're talking about a guy who got in power and literally started firing everybody. We just don't look like the right people to be making that call. To a lot of the rest of the world, to a lot of the Western world. Anyway, let me go back to the box. 3 people versus thousands. What are you saying there? 3 people versus thousands. I don't quite get that because ICE has ruined the lives of a hell of a lot more than 3 people. Those are the 3 people you know about. They've had a lot of folks die in their custody in these camps, or what they want to call detention centers. There's been a lot of folks that have died in ICE custody. And after seeing them claim that Alex Preddy was a domestic terrorist approaching ICE with a gun and all, you can't believe what they tell you. So I'm going to tell you, I don't know how many people, but I guarantee ICE has some secrets. ICE has skeletons in their closet. Let me go back to the box. 3 people versus thousands, as if that's the only ones that have perished. It's more than that. Let me go back to the box. We'll take on Mike, the boss. Man, stop spreading lies, says Squatch. How do you know? You trust what you're hearing from ICE? Dudes in masks that don't even identify themselves. You trust those dudes? Okay, I'm learning. Mike, good evening.
Jeez, and listen, this is what I need you to do for me. First of all, tap the screen share the live, get Tim up to about 100. Wow.
Hell yeah.
But here's what I need you to do. I need you to use your other account when you go into these other MAGA. I'm tired of seeing that little round circle just glowing, and I go, oh, what Tim doing? And I click on the thing, and you talking to the most ignorant motherfuckers. Tim's, just give a warning.
Well, listen, you're no fan of MAGA, so you're going to think I like talking to MAGA. They have a difference of opinion, but I respect talking to MAGA. You have a difference of opinion.
I love having a respectful conversation. That's what I enjoy.
Okay.
But the shit I walk into when you talking to people, that shit is listen. And I want to correct something.
I'm curious to know what you heard to make you say that. But go ahead and make your correction.
I was listening. 98% of people that are home he saw me in his comments. He said,
real quick for folks who don't know what the hell we're talking about. I was in Straight Talks live earlier, and we were talking about how to help the homeless, and he suggested that 98% of America's homeless have substance abuse problems. 98%. That's way above the truth. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, but when you Google it, it's 30 to 40%.
Yeah, it's way above the truth.
I just anyway. So listen. When you were talking about Iran earlier, first of all, promises broken. You starting to sound like me now. Everything is happening is just It's just par for the
Well, when he's on video making suggestions like he's going to try to, establish peace and stability, he said he's going to try to make more friendships. I mean, that's what he's on video. I mean, he's obvious. As I stated earlier in the live, to me, it sounds like you running game like you're trying to get some pussy. I mean, like you just said stuff you know ain't true. You just want to get in office. You're just running game on the voters. Like, I'm just going to tell these motherfuckers whatever they want to hear so they'll pull down their panties and give me their vote. That's what it sounded like. Because he ain't doing none of that.
Tim, that's what he's been doing. Why does that sound new to you? He did it on the, what did he tell them? Hey, just give me your vote. You won't have to vote again. Just give me your, he been pimping them because you got to remember the ones that pimped are being pimped. Listen, if you go look at, I'm going to tell you this. Can I read this to you real quick?
Give me what you got. We got time. Give me what you got.
In a world on fire, a handful of nations required heightened attention. Some represent existential threats to the safety and security of American people. Others threaten to hurt the U.S. economy, and others are wild cards, whose full threat scope is unknown but nevertheless unsettling. These 5 countries on which the next administration should focus its attention and energy are China, Iran, Venezuela, Russia, and North Korea. You know where I'm reading that from, Tim?
Not Project 2025.
Project 2025, page 179. Now, which countries that I just read, when they said the 5 that we want to focus on, have we had either tariffs or conflict with so far?
Well, obviously, Venezuela and Iran are at the top of the list. You mentioned Russia and China. What was the 5th nation?
North Korea.
We've been pretty friendly with North Korea under Trump.
We've been pretty quiet.
Well, I just had the photo up there. He wouldn't met the dude. I mean, shit.
He's met them all.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you are right. He has wouldn't met. Yeah, he has met them all.
Have you heard the term re-hemisphere before?
No. Is this something going beyond the Monroe Doctrine or the? I mean, this sounds even worse. Re-hemisphere? Give me that.
Re-hemisphere. See, the Trump administration and the Heritage Foundation, and again, Tim, guess what? Straight Talk Commerce eyes reads. And I've been trying to tell you all this. The re-hemisphere, they believe that if they can, I've got my air quotes up, re-hemisphere all the Latin countries, in the closest proximity to the United States, they can move manufacturing to these countries while taking advantage of their natural resources.
So it is, right? Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I knew. I didn't know exactly, but that's what I kind of felt. It was something like the Monroe, kind of almost like the Monroe Doctrine. We should just have control of all this shit.
Yes. And so how are they going about doing it? You have to deem those people enemies of the country in order to get the American people behind it, to rationalize it. And what do they do, Tim? Every time he pivots, they pivot. It's like the line dancing of political line dancing. They just jump in line and move wherever the fuck he moves. They don't care.
What are you suggesting? What are you suggesting? MAGA got them all doing the Casper slide or something to the left, to the left, to the right.
In here doing an electric slide behind his bullshit policies that he just keep making up. Meanwhile, we got conflict with Venezuela, with Iran, with all these other countries, and then we pissed off our borders in Mexico and Canada.
Well, I'm looking in the comments and I'm listening to you, and Kenneth J6 says. Kenneth J6, what a bunch of clueless ghetto rats. So I guess we're both ghetto rats, I suppose. Kenneth?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
What is a ghetto rat? I mean, do they have rats in the suburbs? Can I at least be in the suburbs? What is a ghetto rat?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but that's the envy. That's the envy because we's can talk and read. Tim, guess what? Ain't that something? See,
big dog, thank you.
You have a 400-year head start and you're still mediocre. That's the best you can do.
Yeah. Well, but here's one of the things. Oh my God, they hate it again. But here's one of the things I will say, because and this is in regards to one of the viewers also saying. So you were all arrested with the fentanyl coming in from Venezuela. I guess you guys are all okay with that. The cocaine coming in from Venezuela, the human trafficking coming in from. Here's the problem. I guess I would ask you this too, Mike. These are some of the things that Trump has said in, I guess, 5 years of the presidency. Obviously, he's talking about the Venezuelan boats coming in. Now we're talking about the Iranians were developing nukes. They bad faith negotiating. He threatened Greenland and said, "We've made a deal with Greenland." He talked about when Putin came over on the red carpet, he had a great conversation with him. And he also once said he had a great conversation with Kim Jong-un. I guess the question I want to ask, does he ever have to prove anything he says at all? What are the terms of the great deal with Greenland, for instance? Like he's making these statements. We'll never know what was on the boats coming from Venezuela. Why so many statements with no evidence is what I'm asking.
Because they don't require it, because cult members never ask questions. They just capitulate. I mean, that's about as simple as I can. They never ask questions. They have set down their critical thinking and their reasoning just to follow and be part of something. They don't think about anything. Let me give you an example. I thought we were trying to work on waste, fraud, and abuse and spending, and he's growing the deficit. Yeah. This thing in Iran is growing the deficit. Now, do you think it's possible to lose 3 fighter pilots by friendly fire, Tim? 3.
Yeah, that was over. Apparently, they're saying the Kuwaitis shot him down.
3.
What are you suggesting? I mean,
I'm just simply asking you.
That's a lot to lose in that quick of a time. But what are you suggesting? I mean, shit.
Listen. I'm just saying.
Whoa, wait a minute. I get it. Are you suggesting that maybe our enemy has more capabilities than they want to let on, and they may have scored some shots?
I'm simply saying. I'm simply asking you.
That's what I'm hearing, and I'll tell you this. And I know this is where my beloved MAGA is not going to like me, but sometimes you got to take what the Trump administration says with a grain of salt. And I will say this, and it's not because you're saying it, because you haven't really gave me clarity, but if the Iranians were able to shoot down 3 F-15s, the Trump administration is not going to want to admit that. They are not going to want to tell you that. So the idea that it was friendly fire, isn't that what was the name of the guy who played for the NFL team, the Arizona guy? They got killed by friendly.
Pat Tillis.
Yeah, Pat Tillman. That's the same thing they told us for years. That dude was. They gave us a lie on how he died for years. Said he was shot by the enemy when it was really friendly fire. So sometimes what they tell you during the heat of war, and this is they call it a conflict, whatever. But sometimes what they tell you is not accurate.
And it's not. And just for Cedric and MAGA rats in the comments, they were F-15s, not F. I don't give a fuck if they were crop dusters. How were the communications so poor between allies that they pew 3 fighter jets? You guys are crazy if you think that's normal. Those things are $250 million a pop, and we lost 3 of them in the span of hours. And y'all think that? Listen. The idea, if it was friendly fire, that's some cacostocracy like I've never seen. How are communications so poor between allies?
It's either. I mean, neither outcome is good. It's either going to be that the enemy is far more developed than we want to admit, or it's just terrible, poor communications and incompetence. Neither one is good, though. I mean, for it to be this early in the conflict and you've had that many mishaps already, that's terrible. I mean, even throughout the whole 20 years in Iraq, I mean, like 3 F-15s. I mean, that's terrible to be happening this quick.
That's like starting a spring training and you lose 3 starters right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because they didn't ran into other players. It's like it's so stupid. Okay, listen, Gen X, maybe it's 90 million instead of 250. Whatever. The number is irrelevant as much as to the lack of literal incompetency with this administration to lose 3 by allies in the matter.
You're talking about a conflict. I'm trying to avoid saying war, even though I think this shit is definitely a war. But I'm gonna give MAGA credit and say a conflict. But you're talking about a conflict that's only hours old. I mean, you're talking about 90 some hours or so. You lost 3 jets in 90 hours. I mean, that's terrible.
You got 3 people that bought cars off the lot, and they all 3 got in accidents.
Not to mention at least 6 dead in only a couple of days. I mean, this ain't great. This is not looking good.
It's not great. And by the way, here's the problem with the U.S. The arrogance always gets in the way. They're saying the same things that Bush said when he said, "Oh, shock and awe, it'll be 72 hours and we'll be home," and 28 years later. But the funny thing is, so what did Iran do? They ended up sinking one of their own oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. Did you read that?
Oh, no, I didn't. No.
Oh, you haven't seen the price of oil, the barrels of oil today, Tim?
No, I haven't, but I got a full take of my. I mean, everybody is saying that the price of oil. I hear that the stocks for the airline stocks have went up because have tanked rather because people believe that there's going to be a problem with jet fuel and everything. So yeah, the analysts believe what you're saying is that the price of oil is about to go. It's about to get bad.
So I want to address something in the comments. See, this is why people need to read. None of the pilots were unalived. All 6 of them ejected.
Yeah.
So when you think I'm laughing, nobody unalived in those planes. You guys need to read. Number one. Number 2, so when Iran sunk that tanker, you know what the insurance companies did of other tankers? They canceled the policies.
Ooh. So everything about this suggests you're going to be paying more for oil.
It's up $71 a barrel right now. It's gone up $12.
I see Straight Talk in the comments saying the price of gas only went up 4 cents a gallon. It just happened. It just happened.
These people are crazy. Oil is going to continue to go up because it wasn't an accident, Cedric. It was strategic because they got the insurance company to do exactly what they wanted them to do. You can move your tankers out here if you want to, but something might happen to them.
I gotta say, is it possible that maybe Trump thought that Iran was going to be a cakewalk like Venezuela? Because Iran got plans. They seem to have some plans.
Isn't it obvious? It's clear. It's clear, but here's the thing. This is what happens, Tim. I told you this from the very beginning. This is what happens when you elect somebody with no integrity, character, morals, or ethics. I told you that when I met you. And because he lies so much, we're there behind the lie. I thought they were obliterated. Those were his words back in June of 2025.
And that's another one I would add to the list of things I mentioned. That's what I said. During the fog of a conflict or war, you can't trust what your government always tell you. Trump did say that their nuclear ambitions were obliterated, and there was a report that leaked within a day or two saying that it was not obliterated, and at best we had only set their nuclear program back by a few months. And both Trump and Hegseth and I think Rubio all attacked the report saying the report was bullshit. And here we are a few months later talking about they're working on their nuclear program again. So that was correct. The Trump administration knew it was correct and chose to lie about it.
Man, I'm going to take it a step further. They got in Tulsi Gabbard's ass when she said it wasn't as far along as they were saying. Matter of fact, once she said that, Tulsi Gabbard's ass went away, didn't she?
Yeah, and in the comments, Straight Talk is saying, where is the lie? If a report leaked says you haven't obliterated their nuclear program, you damn sure know that President Trump has knowledge of what was in that report, because however they got the information for that report to leak, the president would have been presented with it first. So he knew when he was saying it was obliterated, it wasn't true. And he damn sure knew it wasn't obliterated after he was questioned about the leak report. He lied. It's as simple as that.
And they said it would take at least a decade to rebuild.
Yeah.
I can pull the video up. I remember that distinctly. Tulsi, when they interviewed Tulsi Gabbard in front of Congress, if you remember, Tulsi Gabbard has said that they had enriched more, but they were not close based on their inspections, and then they got in her shit about that.
Yeah, by the time that report leaked, suggesting that we had not totally destroyed their nuclear ambitions, the Trump administration absolutely knew about it, because they're the ones that probably are the ones that developed the report for it to leak. They're the ones that would go and take satellite photos and things like that of the damage. and then somebody got a hold of that and leaked it. So for Trump to try to continue saying it was obliterated back then, yeah, he knew he was lying.
And you remember, because when she came out, Donald Trump said that she was wrong. Because at first she said it wasn't, and then she said she was wrong. They could produce, the nuclear weapons within weeks after she had said they weren't close because they had gotten her shit about it. You remember?
Yeah.
And it's so funny. It's so funny for straight talk. And why are you guys? And then you guys try to pivot and put it back on us. Like, well, I thought you guys didn't want us. This isn't us. This is what we're just responding to what the guy you support is doing.
Yeah. Well, in the comments, JC Montana says, goofy. They are threatening to keep pushing their nuclear capabilities. You can't attack a nation based on a threat, dude. Saddam Hussein threatened that if we invaded, he was going to do all kinds of shit. You don't go and attack a nation because somebody is threatening. It's got to be based on some actual evidence. Threatening? You mean we're doing all of this over a threat? That's all it took? Come on now.
Well, and if that's the case, country should have attacked us when Donald Trump came into office, and he's threatened multiple nations.
Yeah.
He's threatened multiple nations. And the funny thing about this, Tim, you see, he picks and chooses, but this is all about the region. This is all about the region. And if you wanna read JC Montana, you're not prepared for this. I promise you. I guarantee you're not prepared.
Well, for folks who know, we do have a program here where if you want to actually speak, because I take one caller at a time, but for folks who want to really tackle somebody, put a galaxy in there and I'll give you 10 minutes with that caller. If you really think the caller don't know shit, we do that. Otherwise, it's one at a time. But you drop a galaxy, I'll put you right up with them and you can give them an earful. And we'll give you plenty of time to do it. But go ahead.
And bring up your sources when you do, because I'm in my office right now, my guy.
Fair enough.
I'm looking at docs right now. So it's not like, well, here's the thing, Tim. We've lost 6 soldiers thus far. It's up from 3 to 6 now. Multiples injured. Remember the last time Donald Trump said that they just had headaches when one of our embassies got hit?
That's another one. Yes, that is another one where Iran bombed a facility and they ended up getting concussions and were really fucked up. And he said they just had headaches. That is another lie he told. Yeah.
Man, we can go on and on and on about these lies, Tim. These never going to be honest. He said that Iran was ready to come to a table about a ceasefire. And what did they say after he said that?
Wait. He said they were ready.
Trump said yesterday, He said yesterday that Iran wants to talk. They want to come to the table. The interim leaders.
No, they making it clear they intend to keep fighting.
Thank you. So, but again, that's what he said. But they said, "The hell with you."
Yeah, and that's the first thing I said when some of these other things that Trump has said. I'm like, you got to take this stuff with a grain of salt. There's too many things that Trump has said at this point that at the very least have not been proven to be valid, and in some cases have been proven to be totally false. I mean, I'm still wondering what is the great deal he made with Greenland that he told. He said he made, after threatening to take over Greenland and backing down, he said he made a deal with him. Nobody has heard anything about this deal, any of the terms of it or anything. He just throws wild shit out there like that. And MAGA be like, yay, we got some out of it. Got what? He never explained it.
This is the next move. If you don't know this already, this is the next move. He's going to come out and say that they found evidence of China interfering in the last election. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. And Bansky's going to use that as a reasoning to try to change protocols for the election with the mail-in voting. And you watch what I tell you, Tim. Now, I'm not Nostradamus or anything, but if you read what they've been saying, they've just been setting it up. They've been setting this stuff up for a while. And the funny thing is,
I'm not aware that he's going to blame election fraud on China, but I do feel fairly confident that Trump is going to declare some kind of election emergency based on something that, once again, will not be proven. He's going to say somebody is cheating or somebody is doing this or can't be trusted to do that. And it's no evidence of whatever he's claiming will ever be presented. I do believe that.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, and I see Mr. Better. He's already saying it. So somebody else said they're already saying, silly me. Silly me.
Mike, I got to move it on. I'll give you the last word. I do got to move it on. Go ahead.
And this is the last word I'm going to give you. Start using your backup profile when you go trolling. So we know that you in them spaces. I'm not following your ass no more.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with me having a friendly conversation with MAGA? We love talking to MAGA here.
Because they don't know shit and they profess to know this shit. And it's so easy to just Google and debunk.
You do realize MAGA says the same thing about your ass, right, too. They say you don't know shit. And they say I don't know shit too. So
I know, but the one thing about me, I can pull up sources to support what I'm saying.
I like that. I gotta move it on. Thank you, Mike.
Yep.
Appreciate it. By the way, you guys know what I'm gonna ask you to do. Get us on up to 110. Mike don't know shit, says Cedric Heine. Come to my house, Mike. Tell me what you know. You want me to come to your come over to his live, Mike. You got an invite from Straight Talk Commerce. Michael, the employee, believes this is stolen land. Yeah, people, it is stolen land or whatever the case may be, but most places you go on earth is going to probably be stolen. It's just as simple as that. I mean, we're not going to revert back to the Ottoman Empire or some shit. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and I guess the Ottoman Empire was probably stolen from somebody before that. We're not going to revert back to, 200 BC or something like that. I mean, it is what it is. It's stolen land. It has, America was founded through a brutal history. I'm a descendant of folks who dealt with all of that shit. But, I mean, you can't expect the America of today to just break apart to try to go back to something it was in the late 1600s. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Looking in the comments, Mexico is going to pay for the wall. Like I said, Trump has the unique ability, and this is where I give Trump credit, and a lot of my liberals don't like me for saying this, but I give Trump credit because he, unlike virtually any other politician, can say something, and a lot of people just believe it. They just simply believe it. They don't need any proof. It can be a fairly wild statement, and they just believe it. Obama didn't have that kind of power. Biden absolutely did not have that kind of power. George W. Bush didn't have that kind of power. Trump is indeed the most powerful president. I'm going to go beyond saying in our lifetime. I believe in American history. Maybe George Washington, maybe, because he could have been king if he wanted to, so maybe George Washington. But other than that, I'm going to say Trump, probably number one, if not number one, a close second. You're defending a man who lied straight to your face. No, we're calling him out on that. All of my money, whatever that name is there, but we're calling him out on it. No, we're not defending him. I'm just simply saying I give him credit because he can tell you something and people don't question it. I mean, they're eating cats and dogs in Springfield. As wild as that sounded, he didn't need to prove that. MAGA was instantly like, damn, they eating motherfucking animals. They didn't need to see anything. It was, as wild as that sounds, it was good enough when they heard it. And it's a host of things he's said that has been like that. MAGA does not ask questions when it comes to Trump. If he says it, therefore it is. He said yesterday were delicious. He said Mexico was going to pay for the wall, then China was going to pay for it in Canada. Mexico president told Trump, fuck you, I'm not paying for that wall. That was Vicente Fox, the former president of Mexico, who did say we're not paying for that fucking wall. Do you realize that Google with the algorithm lies? Even AI would tell you that they're not always right because whoever programs it. Okay, we can talk about AI, but I'm just simply saying President Trump says things. To me, the best recent statement was we made a great deal with Greenland. Nobody asked any questions. Nobody asked him to give the details of it. What's so great about it? What deal did you make? Because I've had viewers on here that live in Greenland and they don't even know what it is. Like, what kind of deal was made with Greenland that you're calling great? It seems to be based on absolutely nothing, at least in my opinion. We'll go to the box and we'll make it happen. What I think that says East Side or whatever that says there. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Twin Mom, did you look up whatever that says? You guys are talking about something different.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, it's East Side.
Welcome to the program, East Side. So, promises kept, promises broken. Does it appear as if Trump is breaking some of his campaign promises?
Man, he done broke every promise. He done broke. I think he done. Now I think about it, he probably done broke his own lies. He done lied and broke his own lies, man. Man, look, man. for one, the NATO, the European Union, our own people have all said, hey, they don't have nuclear weapon capabilities. Okay. Now, he's asked for, did y'all know he's asked for a ceasefire? Trump, he's asked for a ceasefire.
After literally chopping off their entire government, do you think the Iranians? Well, we already know the Iranians said, "Fuck you, we gonna keep bombing up and blowing shit."
Yeah, right. And then it's like they they talking about a regime change. They appointed his son as the Ayatollah, who is worse than Kimmy. Did you know? See, this is dumb. It's why it's so dumb.
Well, but the thing about it is, I think they had somebody else they wanted to appoint, but they made a mistake and killed them, so they couldn't do that. They actually killed. They had other folks they had in mind.
This was like, is it what within 24 hours? Well, okay, you might be right, but I know within 24 hours of Kimmy being dead, being unalive, they had appointed his son.
Within 24 hours, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was watching it.
Well,
at that time, it was allegedly.
But let me ask it to you from a Trump supporter perspective. Even if he is breaking some of the campaign promises or things are not going perfect, he has taken down a brutal dictator that was oppressing his own people, allegedly shooting protesters and things like that. So even if you don't favor what Trump did, is there plenty of good in what he has accomplished?
No, because nothing's going to change because they still control the government. They still in control. All his teachings are still going to be carried out. They are full-fledged behind everything that man has taught them. They are not straying from they will not break, bend, or fold.
So you believe that the oppression,
yes,
the killing of protesters, all this will continue?
It was his son. They said it's his son that pushed the button on it and told him to do it. It wasn't Kimmy. It was his son.
So if that happens, what does Trump do? Because I see in the comments, Molly is saying none of our business. But if this happens, do we go back in?
You might. I mean, do you?
Let me ask it to you. Let me ask it to you this way: what the hell was the goal of this to begin with?
Look, the goal was to go in there and bomb Iran when he tore up the nuclear with the deal Obama made. He kept trying to say that was a bad deal. Mm-hmm. This was the plan. He didn't win the election. If he'd have won the election, it would have happened in 2020. All of this was going to happen. That was the whole point of tearing up the deal in the first place.
So you're suggesting that President Trump, from day one, Iran's fate had been sealed. If he's president, they're getting bombed.
Netanyahu had been, think about this. How many times in 2012, he said, Iran is 2 weeks away from a nuclear bomb. Didn't happen. Came back 2015. They're 6 months away. We never seen anything. Then 2019. They're about to build a bomb. He keeps on saying it. He kept it. The man in 2019 when he said it, they thought Trump was going to win the election again, and he didn't. They was already ready then.
Wow.
That's why in 2019 he was saying it. See, I just went and looked all this up. If you go look it up, you can go look up how many times Netanyahu has said that Iran is
Netanyahu has his own agenda. He's doing what's in the best interest of Israel.
And Trump was right there he's right there with it though. He's with whatever Netanyahu says do, man.
Yeah. Well, some would suggest, I had a caller suggest that, look, AIPAC is paying them all. And even if you had President Kamala Harris in there, we would still be doing the same thing for Netanyahu.
I heard that Numbskull say that. And, look, when it comes to MAGA, okay, they are a people of a different type of species at this point.
Species? MAGA is a species?
Yes, we have got
I thought it was a movement of species?
No, it's a species. Because there's no way on God's green earth that a man can do the things that he's doing, and you just simply blindly go that route. But the biggest picture for every MAGA out there is that you have an attorney general, Pam Bondi, that is protecting the pedos. And it's right there in your face. There's no way to deny it. She is protecting the pedos. Why? It's not, well, it couldn't be because of her. She's, what has she got to do with it? It's Trump. And it's Trump and it's Israel. It's them. And he's doing whatever they tell him to do. So, yes, you could
So
say
you make it
that
sound like President Trump is nothing more than a puppet.
he is the greatest puppet of all times.
Wow.
You've got to recognize it. Look at it.
And real quick before you continue, I just wanted to address a comment by Peter McGilton. Says, Obama was Muslim and that's what the country is. So Obama was giving him a nuclear. Well, the idea that Obama is, if Obama was, let me just say this: if Obama was a Muslim, why was Sean Hannity and the right constantly in a Christian church? Remember, the chickens are coming home to roost. That's a Christian church on the south side of Chicago. If he's a Muslim, why were they calling that his pastor, Reverend Wright? Why were they calling Reverend Wright his pastor if he's a Muslim? Something don't make sense. Go ahead there, with Eastside.
And he was singing Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
And they're in the church singing Amazing Grace. Yeah. Like, y'all got to stop. And they like to have these type of conversations. He's a Muslim. They want to have, that's the conversations they want to have. They do not want to talk about Representative Robert Garcia had came on national TV and said, we have a witness that says that she had sexual relations with Trump when she was 13 years old. Damn. They don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that is something that, well, for folks who suggest that these wars are some kind of distraction, I don't know if they are, but they are. We haven't talked about Epstein anymore, so it is working. Here's a little bit of, but let me enlighten you before we continue with a little bit of comedy. I think this is kind of comical coming from Carlos. Says, how many Trump supporters does it take to change a light bulb? And he responds by saying, none. Trump says he will fix it, and you will all stand around in the dark.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
Oh my God.
And all the evidence says that's the truth.
So they just all said, Trump gonna fix it. Don't worry about it. I can't even see you. Don't worry, he coming to fix it. I can't see you. Who bumped into me? I can't see. He's coming to fix it. I thought that was kind of funny though, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because it's the truth, and we got to laugh to not cry. I mean, it's just so much. I don't want to say that. Not that I don't care about the war, but I'm so focused on getting to the bottom with these pedos because I look at it like these people aren't your workers. This isn't your boss. This isn't that. It's none of that. Mm-hmm. This is the 1%. This is the people that dictate how the world turns. And you have MAGA, the new species to the planet Earth, that don't care about that. They do not care that the people that make this world turn are engaging with sexual acts with children. They do.
But you know that. But wait a minute. Just in all fairness, in defense of Trump and MAGA, you don't think the Democrats are free of the Epstein files? I mean, there are Democrats probably in there too, right?
Yes. Yes, I believe that whoever is in power, who has a say in this global turn, I believe there's people. Those are the people, and that's why I want to know. I would think that everybody would want to know, but they don't. They really don't.
No, and I listen. To me, the saddest part about it is how much Cash Patel and Dan Bongino made internet presence and made money on the internet talking about getting to the bottom of this shit. And then Trump appointed them to the highest positions in our government, and they didn't come back with nothing. I mean, you got Dan Bongino quitting. You didn't get a single arrest as the deputy director of the FBI. You didn't get to the bottom of shit. You didn't reveal shit. You didn't arrest nobody. You quit, and you made a ton of money off the internet talking about getting to the bottom of this. Now that you don't quit the Trump administration, you're back on the internet on with the next conspiracy theory. Like, what the hell is that?
It's MAGA. It's MAGA. It's the new species. This is how it works. you know, hey, I don't want to say nothing. I'm gonna keep it real, keep it 100. You know,
But you got an individual pushing back strong, and this is a worthy comment to present you with. He says the New York Times, in quotes, unverified accusation that a 13-year-old was abused by Trump, and he's saying, I guess that means he is guilty to bozo. So in other words, it's an unverified accusation. So you're treating Trump as if he's guilty until proven innocent. What say you?
talk to Representative Robert Garcia, who made the statement that would be 4 or 5 days ago. That's what I would say. You talk to him because he came during when they was doing the um, press conference when they was talking about doing ready for the Clinton sit down. That's when he talked about it.
And I will follow that up by saying, like what somebody in the comments, Tay said they interviewed him 4 times. What we're referring to is the fact that about 50 pages were missing from the files, featuring a 13-year-old that actually told the FBI that in 1983 she was abused by both Trump and Epstein, and the FBI had 4 separate interviews with her. And the individual you're talking about that they should talk to, he's the one that said he saw this, and now it's missing from the files. I'll tell you this in regards to this stuff being unverified, like my viewer said. Maybe if they weren't hiding this shit so much, we wouldn't have so much that's unverified. It just if he wasn't playing games with it, when you start playing games with the files, you leave yourself open for people to start making all kinds of accusations.
Watch this. Watch this. Now, for all the MAGA, doesn't it make sense that as a good Christian nation, that for people that believe in the law, that if we knew who these people were, would you be redacting anything from them files?
Yeah. The amount of redactions from, and we can talk about Biden and Obama and all them not releasing this stuff, but
I don't care who. Let Obama be in them files, and he did something with a little girl.
Right.
Get your ass over there.
Right. But
with them.
the secret,
Don't you move.
right, but the secrecy from the Trump administration. And by the way, folks, just to interrupt this real quick, I got the big screen on. Apparently, some drones have struck, and I saw this in the comments. Somebody brought it up. Drones have struck the U.S. embassy in Saudi Arabia. So Iran ain't going down without a fight.
Well, I've been sitting here talking to you, watching the news. They are turned the tallest building. They tore it up. Oh, they tore it up.
Iran, this ain't Venezuela. Iran is like, fuck it. We gonna go out fighting.
And like he said, like the dude said, he didn't. I don't know why he couldn't comprehend, but this is strategy. As long as they keep bombing us, we're gonna bomb you. So since that's your buddy, you better tell them to back the fuck up. It's common sense.
And I'm gonna tell you after 20 years of Iran and Afghanistan, there's a lot of Americans. Unlike now, MAGA just wants to see Trump kicking ass. I get it. MAGA's gonna support anything, but other than MAGA, there's a lot of Americans that do not have the stomach for another long, drawn-out war. And the way Iran is hitting shit back, this ain't gonna be over in no few weeks, like Trump is saying. They're fighting hard. I mean,
because the people that are going to be unalive should not be unalive. They should be alive. They should not be. We have no state. Once we beat Iran, guess what? They still gonna say death to America. They still gonna say it. You know why? Because when they unalived Kimmy, millions was in the streets, thousands screaming.
To me, starting a conflict or a war over some people saying death to America is ridiculous. I mean, there are going to be people that don't like the United States. There's people in America that you don't start a war because somebody is saying, if they're not actually doing anything, you can't start wars with people over that.
Yeah, that's all it took was some words.
Yeah, that's the snowflake argument.
Yeah, what is Putin said? What has Kim Jong-un said?
Shit, what have we said about it?
What has China said?
I mean, Trump is threatening to host the countries. You can't start a war because because right now, what is this war this conflict been going to 3 or 4 days? We've already destroyed a school and killed like 150 some odd schoolgirls. You think their parents are not going to be talking about death to America? You think they're going to like us after that? I mean, so
no, they are infuriated. That's their child.
Yeah,
and just like you think right now, you unalive this man's father, and you think you ready to come over and say, "Hey, man, we got rid of Kimmy. Y'all do a regime change." What?
Yeah. I really do not think that this was well thought out. I really do not think. I think that Trump, listen, they saying death to America, or maybe it's for the oil or some other resource, but it's just like with Iraq, the exit strategy is lacking. How does this end? How do you want to see this end? I don't think they have an answer for that.
No, they don't. They asked Pete Hegsmith, what's the end game? What's the plan?
They're trying to impeach Hegseth.
They need to, because he's retarded. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. All of this is ridiculous when you look at it from the perspective of just being decent and moral. Look, the thing of it is that I'm not the best person in the world, and I totally get it. But I'm not the president of the United States.
I really wish, if this is such a noble deed, a noble conflict, I really wish that President Trump had presented this before Congress. I would like to hear members of our administration, beyond just Trump himself, give reasons why this should happen and reasons why this should not happen. I don't like one man unilaterally making all the decisions. I mean, because all of us are biased by ourselves as a standalone person. So I would rather let all of them come up and make statements as to why this should happen or why it shouldn't happen. As long as we keep letting him make decisions on his own, I would assume this is going to keep happening. I don't know why I say you violated, but real quick in the comments, Venezuela is going to be another long-term war. How about you guys wait past day 3? Look, this is before you continue. You're saying Venezuela. I don't know why. I don't know if Venezuela is going to be a long-term war, but you're saying, how about we wait past day 3? This is the same thing you guys have been saying about his administration when he said he could end a Ukraine-Russian war in 24 hours. Well, how about you wait past a month? How about you wait past 6 months? How about you wait past a year? It ain't going to happen. I mean, at some point, you got to realize that day 3, this is getting worse. It's not getting better. It's actually getting worse. Go ahead.
Well, I really wanted to address the dude in the comments. He said, y'all want us to help Ukraine, but not the people of Iran. But the difference is Ukraine is doing it themselves. All they asked us to do was provide them ammunition.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
See, Israel is asking us to provide
bombs. Israel is literally asking us to attack them. We didn't attack anybody in the Ukraine-Russian war. We just gave them ammunition to do it themselves. Big difference.
Big difference. That's MAGA. Yeah. That's how MAGA processes information. That's how they got the common sense of it. I shouldn't have had to say that. For him to even put that out there, he should have thought to himself, like, well, you know what? They did fight themselves, but they can't think like that.
Yeah, nobody on the left was asking America to go and attack Russia on the Ukraine's behalf. Nobody was saying that.
No, our people's not going. Not my baby.
Yeah. And Ukraine was invaded. I got to move it on, East Side. Appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate being up here, brother.
Anytime. Tap the screen, get us on up to 130. THURD 100 HUNNIT. Tap the screen, get the likes on up. If you're watching us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Substack, we're on all of those platforms. Same name across all platforms, A Handsome Liberal. By the way, we do have accounts on X, Rumble. Clapper is working again. Some of you folks used to watch, because you can come up, we can take live callers on Clapper as well. I had to go through technical support and all of that, and they opened up a ticket, but we do have our account on Clapper working again. I think Clapper's fairly conservative, so I don't know if I had some haters or whatever. But anyway, we can go live on Clapper again, so we will soon be live on Clapper again. But currently, we're live right now on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, and YouTube. If you're watching us on one of those programs, give us a follow. You happen to be watching on YouTube, give us a sub. And tap that like button for my YouTube viewers. Tap that like button. Helps out the algorithm, helps out the program, brings in more MAGA. We are uncensored. Always have been, always will be. We don't have a moderator. Where the hell has Dencal been, Tim? Dencal was our first caller. Denkel does not use Insta or TikTok anymore. He was on Instagram. We bring callers up on Instagram as well. Denkel was literally our first caller today. You doing too much, bro, says Lewis. Well, listen, we trying to talk to the people. And sometimes that means going to where they are. Everybody's not on TikTok. Everybody's not on Instagram. Everybody's not on YouTube. So we want to go out to where the people are. MAGA, X, Truth, Rumble, YouTube. So we want to go and talk to the people where they are. MAGA is not a big fan of TikTok. They don't use Instagram like that. So we want to have a program where everybody gets to speak. So sometimes it requires doing a little bit too much, as you say. Donald Trump gave us COVID-19. What the hell? No, he did not. I don't blame Trump for COVID-19. I blame him for mishandling the pandemic, but he didn't give us COVID-19. Trump thought Zelensky would accept the deal. He realized he was wrong and Zelensky wanted the fighting to continue. No, Zelensky wants to maintain his country's sovereignty, Kenneth. And if maintaining his sovereignty means the fighting will continue, then it is what it is. But if Russia decided to retreat and leave the Ukraine, Zelensky's not going to keep attacking Russia on its soil. No, Zelensky doesn't want the fighting to continue. He wants his country to be what it was before Russia invaded it. Russia wants to leave with a portion of Ukraine now in their ownership. They want to steal some land. Does that sound familiar? Thank you for the TikTok cap, Molly Jacobs. Appreciate that. Thank you for your support. Folks, tap the screen. I need that 130. We'll take the next caller at that. He gave Chris Christie COVID-19. That is true. That actually is true. I got Chris Christie's book right behind me somewhere. And in that book, he does say that, is that Trump gave him COVID and Trump did not even really call him in concern because he was in intensive care. Chris Christie was in bad shape. And he was in, I think he was in the hospital for like 7 days or more. He only got one call, he said, from President Trump. And that one call was to make sure that Chris Christie was not going to blame it on Trump. He just wanted to find out, you're not going to blame you catching the COVID on me, are you? Because remember Trump threw that party and nobody had on masks? Shout out to the late Herman Cain who attended that event, dying later of COVID. Anyway, when Chris Christie came down with COVID, Trump gave him a call and only wanted to find out was he going to fault Trump for catching it. Chris Christie in the book does say that Melania Trump called him, and she was very kind and sympathetic to him. But he's like, Trump only called me once, and he wanted to know whether I was going to tell anybody he gave it to him. That was it. He didn't give a shit about what he was going through. Yikes. Trump is incapable of feeling empathy, says Sandra. I'm just saying, that's what he put in his book. Republic, good book, by the way. This was actually a really good read from Chris Christie. Really good read. Anyway, looking in the comments, Trump is peddling selective democracy nowadays. What is the definition of selective democracy? I'd love to know that. Remember when Nancy in the hair salon? Yeah, I remember Nancy Pelosi telling everybody to social distance and she went into a hair salon. Yeah, I remember that. Telling folks that those places should be closed. Yeah, she was being hypocritical as well, but she's not the president of the United States. But no, she doesn't get a pass either. Yeah, I see what's going on, says Maurice. Yeah, get us up to 130. We'll take the next caller. And tap that like button if you happen to be watching on YouTube. Joe Biden stopped COVID-19 and brought the economy back. He certainly turned the economy around, and he absolutely did a far better job on managing the pandemic, in my opinion, than Trump did. Trump should have been a hero on the pandemic because he gave us Operation Warp Speed. He should have been able to take credit and be a hero on that because, worldwide, the vaccine is credited for saving millions of lives. But the way he rolled it out, like he wasn't even for sure it could be trusted and let his own people say all kinds of horrible shit about it. He can't take credit for it, but he should. That's something he came up with. Why is the USA and Israel allowed to have nukes but not Iran? Bullying. I'm just going to tell you. Look, this is where the left is accused of being pro-Iran or pro-terrorism or whatever. I'm going to tell you flat out. We, as a Generation Xer, we all grew up during an era of MAD, mutually assured destruction, where we had these drills in school, the threat of the Soviets firing nukes and us firing back, and the belief was nobody's going to fire them because in the end, both sides are going to be destroyed, mutually assured destruction. I believe that applies to Iran for certain. Why on earth does anybody believe if Iran got their hands on one or two nuclear bombs, they're going to fire at the United States that has like several thousand of them? I've never believed that. I've never believed that Iran, I don't believe that nation, all of their leadership was just suicidal. I've never believed that. I have believed from day one that was Western propaganda. You hear the Second Amendment crowd say this all the time. I'm sure you've heard this phrase before yourself. In regards to the Second Amendment, an armed society is a polite society. Why the hell doesn't that apply on a global scale? The belief is that if everybody has a firearm, folks won't fuck with each other. Why don't we believe that on a global scale? An armed planet is a polite planet. Why don't we want to dominate those nations and keep them from obtaining the ability to defend themselves? That's all it really amounts to. If Iran got their hands on a nuclear weapon, chances are that nation would fare a lot better than it is now. They would be able to trade without the West interfering with them. I personally believe that nation would do a lot better if they got their hands on a nuclear weapon, because we wouldn't be able to interfere and keep our thumbs on them. We keep our thumb pinning them down, controlling what they can and can't do. We're not operating in their best interests. I think everybody knows that. We're preventing them from doing all kinds of things. Same thing with Cuba. If Cuba had nuclear weapons, that nation would be in far better shape than it is now. We're keeping our thumb on that nation. We're literally keeping them in poverty. We do that to a lot of nations. So this is a question I often have folks ask me. You don't want America to be a superpower? What would the world be like if America wasn't a superpower? I'm here to tell you there's a lot of nations that would be doing actually better if we weren't a superpower. We do what's best in our interest and a few of our friends. The hell with everybody else. There's a lot of nations out there that would be doing better. You think Haiti? You think the Haitians? You think we're not hurting them? You think the history of that country is not fucked up like that because of us? There's a whole lot of nations like that. Anyway, looking in the comments, North Korea got nukes and America don't mess with them. That's true. Once you get your hands on the ability to fight back and get America off of you, you actually can have some resemblance of self-control. You can control your own nation at that point. And that's exactly what Get a Rope makes a good point. Ukraine gave up their nukes. Look at the condition they're in now. Look at if the Ukrainians had kept their hands on their nukes, they wouldn't be going through this right now. That's a great point. To me, based on what we're seeing happen, Russia invading the Ukraine, China threatening Taiwan, and America just going on a rampage right now. If you are a non-nuclear power, it would behoove your sovereignty to try to get your hands on something as quick as you can. In my opinion, just advising the world, I would say every nation out there, if you don't have nukes, you should at least try to consider we were just threatening Canada and Greenland not long ago. So don't let that fall on deaf ears. We were just literally threatening Canada and Greenland just a few months ago. So in my opinion, if you do not have atomic weapons, you probably should consider getting them. Because even the nations you thought that might have your back may not. We were literally talking about taking over Greenland by military force just a few weeks ago. And of course, you see what's going on with Canada. So I think the whole nation the whole planet rather, you should consider it for your own sovereignty. You never know when an ally might flip. You never know when Big Brother might change on you. I think we've shown that fairly clear over the last year. Anyway, looking in the comments though, where's Gangsta Grandma? Gangsta Grandma was our second or third caller. She's been up already. Joe Biden tried to give us free college. Republicans voted against it. That is true. Those same fallen angels made a pact to take women. Don't know what that means. Let me go back to the box. What do you mean a pack to take women? Panda. Got Bryce in Atlanta. Good evening, Panda. Whoever, okay, didn't bring. Why is America allowed to have nukes? Because we got them, and nobody can take them away from us now. Same way the North Koreans are allowed to have nukes. Once you get them, ain't nothing nobody can do about it. That's why I'm saying those nations should, Iran should try to befriend, whether it's Pakistan or, work with the Russians, do whatever you can to get nuclear power from, Iran has nuclear allies. What do we need to do? Look, I'll give you, a certain percentage off of oil for the next decade or generation. We need to get our hands on some nukes. Otherwise, the relationship of us trading oil with you may end up being cut off by the United States. Look what Trump just did with the relationship between Venezuela and Cuba. He literally stopped Venezuelans from sending oil to Cuba, and now that country is in the dark most of the days. They're having a humanitarian crisis in Cuba. And in the meanwhile, President Trump is deporting Cubans from this country back into that crisis. So if I'm Iran, I would tell my atomic friends, I need you to help me get my hands on some nuclear technology. Otherwise, the oil exchange we have, this isn't guaranteed to continue. The United States may get involved in this and stop this in any day. We need to be prepared for that. You just seen what has happened. Anyway, let me go back to the box. Do y'all have a clue what a nuke will do? Yes. That's what prevents people from fucking with you once you get one. It's like showing up on the block with a Desert Eagle. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you. Let me go back to the box. We'll make it happen with MAGA Reacts. I like how Russia and China help their friends. They need to do that because they need the oil from their friend. Good evening, MAGA.
Tim, that has to be some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Appreciate it. Give me, elaborate. Tell me what I said.
What's up?
Tell me give me one.
Giving everybody nukes is not like giving everybody a gun. It's like giving everybody a bomb vest.
Huh?
It's like, here's a vest, a fucking, a blow-up vest that you could wear so nobody will mess with you because, he'll blow up.
Wait. No, giving everybody a gun can kill, a nuke can kill. What are you talking about? I don't get where you're going. What you said is kind of dumb, to be honest with you. What are you?
No, it's like giving everybody a bomb that's going to blow you up and blow us all up. It's like a bomb vest. It's more like a bomb vest than a gun.
In America, you for the most part can get your hands on some explosives. You can legally get those too, right?
Yes.
Okay,
then. They're nothing compared to what a nuke is. Like, it's like you said, it's mutually assured destruction. So it's
here's the point. Here's the point I want to. Here's the point I want to make is that the notion that America is so civilized that we would never wrongfully use nukes, but Iran and Iraq and all these other countries would, as if America has some kind of superiority complex where we're the only civilized ones. Everybody else is uncivilized. I don't buy that, MAGA. I don't buy that Iran is so uncivilized that they would fire a nuke at a country that has 2,000 of them. I never bought that.
I don't want to take the gamble, Tim. I really don't.
You're not taking a gamble. They're not going to do that. I don't. There are countries that we are not allies with, like Pakistan, that has nukes. They haven't launched any of them. And Bin Laden came from that country, and they didn't do no shit like that.
Listen, I work with a Pakistani, and he complains how like the Pakistani military is our puppets. So we are allies with Pakistan, and we're allies with India, even though like they're also allies with Russia.
We're allies with Pakistan, but we had to sneak in and get Bin Laden. That makes sense to you?
Yeah, because they have fundamentals that were protecting him, but they're still like.
Then we're not allies. If the perpetrator of the largest terrorist attack in American history is allowed to hide in your country and you're going to help him, you're not a fucking ally. You lose your alliance the minute you do that.
Or was the government helping him, or just?
Yeah, he was hiding out near him. He was hiding out near an officer's military base. They knew that dude was there.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, let me phrase it this way: the fact that we decided to do it under the cover of darkness and not just ask them to hand the dude over shows they are not allies. if Bin Laden was hiding in the UK, we could pick up the phone and they would give us that dude. So the fact that we didn't even feel that they would give him to us.
And again, this is like 15 years ago versus today. Today, especially, their military.
They're not our allies. They're not our allies.
I work with a Pakistani guy every fucking day, and I'm going off what he says. All right? I'm going to take his word over yours.
You don't have to take my word at all. I'm basing it on the actions. The fact that we could not pick up the phone and say, send us Bin Laden speaks volumes. That tells you everything you need to know.
What if Bin Laden had sympathizers and spies and liberals in Pakistan or whatever, or religious fanatics that would have warned him? I mean, they're not perfect.
Stick with your one guy. Stick with your one guy. If you believe that, stick with the one guy that told you that. That's crazy. Any of our allies, if they had a terrorist like that in their country, we would have no problem picking up the phone and telling them, we got this guy on satellite. We want to participate in helping get this guy. And they would let us come in and get him. France, Germany, Spain, you name it. The fact that we got to sneak in stealth copters and all this shit. And then we had to rush out because their military had scrambled fighters. So that is not something you do for an ally.
I don't know, man. I would still keep it secret just in case there's spies or leaks in their fucking government.
If I'm correct,
they're not.
To show you how crazy what you're saying is, if I'm correct, even the stealth helicopters we sent over there, one of them crashed and they wouldn't even return the motherfucker to us. They wouldn't even return it.
Hold on, is that even a thing? Stealth helicopter?
Yeah, the propellers and everything, it makes less noise. But one of those helicopters went down at the Bin Laden compound, and Pakistan wouldn't even give it back to us. Does that sound like an ally?
I'm surprised we didn't just blow it up.
I'm surprised you called them an ally.
They're an ally, Tim.
And by the way, they did blow it up. They blew it up, but the tail, which also has some stealth capabilities, did not blow up. It didn't blow up completely. And Obama asked for it back, and the right was saying that Obama was a pussy because I guess they wanted us to attack Pakistan and take the damn thing back. But Pakistan wouldn't give it back to us. There was no allies in that.
Let's ask Google. What does Google say?
I don't think everybody know what I'm saying is true. You can go and ask Google all you want, but everybody knows that already. Everybody know everything I'm saying is true.
Pakistan is a major non-NATO ally of the United States, designated in 2004 and a key partner in security. Although the relationship is often described as a roller coaster with ongoing diplomatic tension, it remains a critical, albeit complex, partner for the U.S. in South Asia.
You're not helping.
They're an ally, but they're also corrupt and full of religious fanatics.
You're not helping me. You're not helping me catch the greatest terrorist in American history. But you're not an ally. I don't know what AI or whatever is telling you, but the fact that they wouldn't help us with Bin Laden, you're not an ally.
We just didn't trust them. I'm sure if they asked, they might have helped or might have leaked. It's called being better safe than sorry. Yeah. Better be safe and fucking just go after the guy.
They sold the helicopter to China, MAGA. To China.
Fuck them. They're labeled an ally. We treat them as an ally. They're a non-NATO ally. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. India is more of an ally. They're enemy because the Pakistani is an enemy, and Indians are not friends with each other. We're more of a friend of India, not Pakistan. In the comments, SGB says America is the only country to use a weapon of mass destruction. What is he talking about? And that is true. That is true. We're the only country that's ever used this shit.
That's when we invented it, and we were just figuring it out. We learned really quick we shouldn't use it. And we have nukes because we invented the damn things. You should go watch Oppenheimer.
I know that we invented the weapons, but I'm just simply saying I don't buy this whole notion that all of the Middle East is so irresponsible that if any of them get their hands on a nuclear weapon, they just gonna go around using atomic weapons on people. That's the propaganda they teach us in America, is that these countries would do that.
I'm not gonna trust a country full of religious fanatics not to use a nuke.
You're living in one.
We're not fanatics.
Bullshit. All that Charlie Kirk shit. All that Charlie Kirk shit.
Keep church and state separate.
You are living in a country full of religious fanatics. All that Charlie Kirk shit. That's religious fanatics.
Listen, their country is ran by their version of a pope. Like their country is literally ran by their, their mosque or church
MAGA.
leader.
I just played you a clip the other day of folks on the right trying to force kids in school to read from the Bible. That's religious fanaticism right there.
No, again, it's a choice. It's allowing you to have
Not
Bible
a choice.
in school.
No, if the superintendent is if the superintendent is saying it has to be in school, where is it? Who's making the choice?
Look, in Iran, it has to be in school in Iran too. Iran's had that for the last 50 years. So they're more of a religious fanatics than we are.
We're pretty.
Anyway, let's not waste so much.
What else did I say wrong? Because you're in the crazy category right now. Let's get you back on track. You said I'm wrong on a bunch of stuff. Give me something else.
I just Googled it, and Google agreed with me. Pakistan's an ally.
Yeah.
There's nothing crazy about it.
Yeah, I bet you.
India is also an
I bet
ally.
you if any Pakistani came over to this country, you guys would be talking about deporting them. Give me something else. Give me something
I
else.
work with one every day, and I don't want to say he's as MAGA as I am, but he's pretty MAGA too.
You guys gonna learn.
He's got money invested in Truth Social.
You fucking MAGA. I tell you,
he's got stocks in Truth Social.
you fucking MAGA. You MAGA immigrants. You gonna fucking learn one of these days. But go. What else you got? Immigrants for MAGA. That shit's hilarious.
The oil price spike. I mean, it's a normal little spike. I mean, we're at 67. It's like at 72, 71. Also, OPEC is increasing production because those are also our friends. Like,
Yeah, but if
Trump has such a good relationship with them that they increase production as needed to keep oil prices low.
Yeah, but if they destroy the Strait of Hormuz, I mean, can even if you increase production, you still got to ship the shit?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem with all the hardware we have out there.
Every war we
I'm not
get
worried
in,
about it.
somebody says somewhere, somehow, it ain't gonna be a problem until it becomes a problem. I mean, we got 6 dead service personnel when the war has only been going on a few days. 3 jets done got shot down. I mean, all of this has happened in a few hours.
Again, I've been looking. I've only seen the 3 dead. I don't see where the other 3 came from.
I'm watching Fox right now and it says 6. I mean, they don't release the names of the first. Well, what happened is when the first ones died, apparently the other ones died, but they were listed as missing, probably blown in pieces because they said they had to be identified. They were missing, so I guess they found the remains of them, and now they don't chalk them up as dead too, but they had them as missing.
That's the other big question. Where were they that they died?
One of the bases they got hit. I mean, when Iran started bombing, I think they hit bases in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. They just blew up an American embassy just a few minutes ago in was it Saudi Arabia or something. I mean, their drones are hitting this shit. They're hitting stuff in the region.
No, that's because what I'm wondering if like one of our jets got shot down or they attacked the base, which I figured it was a base.
Well, 3 F-15s went down. Fortunately, all the pilots got out. What?
Those F-15s is like, what's his name? Michael said they're like the starting lineup.
No,
the F-15 is like the bench.
Yeah.
The F-15 is like the deep bench.
Yeah, F-15s don't even have staggered stabilizers. They had the F-22. F-16 is above it, I believe. I'm certain the F-22 and the F-35, and the F-22 came out in the 90s. So F-35 is the latest and greatest. So no, the F-15 go back to
Actually, I think the F-22 is the better. Well, the F-22 is the stealth fighter. The F-35 is the latest and greatest that does everything. It's like a one size fits all. But I think the F-22 is a better stealth fighter than the F-35.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
it's like a supercomputer.
35 is the one that can take off like a Harrier. So the 35 has a single engine that you can actually control the nozzle. I fly these things, I fly remote control planes, and they kind of make them where they can do all that. The nozzle turns down.
Like that.
Huh?
I think that part's optional. I don't think they all do that, but some of them do. I think that's like an option.
I've never heard of it being
optional.
optional.
It's an option. I don't think they all have VTOL.
All right. Well, the F-22 is the stealth fighter. You're right about that. The F-22 is the stealth. F-15s go back to like the Top Gun era, the original Top Gun. I mean, those things have been around for a while. So yeah, they're 4th generation. I think they're not 5th generation fighters. So.
I don't even think they're 4th. I think they're 3rd.
Well,
those are very old. The F-15 is very old. Okay, yeah, some F-35s have VTOL, but not all of them.
Okay. So, but when we're talking about the purpose of this live, though, we're talking about promises kept, promises broken. Is he not governing in an exact opposite manner of what he campaigned on?
I want to say yes and no. Like I said, he campaigned against endless, pointless war.
Mm-hmm.
I think this war has a little bit of a point. He told Iran, not to kill their protesters. They killed their protesters, and
That's all it takes.
Well, he says not to cross the red line, and they crossed the red line, and you guys all made fun of him that they crossed the red line, and he didn't do anything about it.
But
Well,
is
guess what?
it
It looks like
really?
he was just
But is it
fighting his
really
fight.
our job to tell a leader how to treat their? I mean, it sounds like Saddam Hussein. He's killing his own people after the weapons of mass destruction didn't materialize. Where he's killing them. I mean, is it our job to go and tell other nations how to treat their people?
I mean, yes and no. In this case, there's a more in this case they're endangering our allies, and they've been
How are they endangering our
funding
allies?
all the terrorists in the area.
How are
I mean,
they
that's what they
endangering
like
our
about the nuclear
allies?
deal, that Iran has so much money that they were funding all the terrorism. So they weren't pursuing nukes with that deal, but they were funding everyone from all the extra money they're making.
Here's what I do not understand. Because Israel's part of NATO. If NATO,
Israel's not NATO.
huh?
Israel's not NATO.
Are they not part of NATO? Well,
I don't think they are.
because what I'm trying to figure out is why are we doing all this shit alone?
Israel part of NATO. I mean, because this has nothing to do with NATO. Yeah, Israel's not a member of
Okay,
NATO.
all right.
NATO is mostly like European countries. Like
I
Turkey's
thought
a member
Israel
of
was
NATO.
so Israel's not part of NATO. I thought they were part of NATO.
No, Turkey's a part of NATO. Let me look that up. Turkey part of NATO. Yeah, Turkey's a part of NATO. NATO is just all European countries.
Well, I guess Israel don't need to be NATO when we're going to do everything we can to protect them. They're doing better than NATO member nations. I mean, they're being treated like they're part of the United States.
Yeah, but also NATO is like designed to be anti-Russia. Its whole purpose is to just be anti-Russia, to defend against Russia. But this is a different situation. Like, Iran has been a pain in our side for 50 years.
I don't see
I'm not
it.
for this war, but I think it's a huge gamble that might pay off or it might blow up in our face.
I think you got it backwards, MAGA. I don't think Iran's been a pain in our side. I think we've been a pain in Iran's side. They're not coming over here fucking with us. We're going over there fucking with them. I don't think we're telling them what to do. They're not telling us what to do. We're in their region.
I don't know. I go back to the difference between them and like North Korea, that they're full of like religious fanatics, and you never.
Yeah, but they're not in our hemisphere. They're not in our backyard or anything. We're over there telling them. I mean, we're over there opening up bases, and I mean, look at what they're striking right now. All of our bases that are over, they don't have anything over here. They're not over here. We over there.
But it's like the oil's right there. If they kill an oil supply for the rest of the world, they could fuck up the economy of like most of the world by fucking up the oil supply.
Right. So everything we're doing to them is based on an if. We're actually proactively fucking with them based on what we say they might do. Iran really ain't attacked the United States or done anything to us. We're constantly hitting them.
No, but they funded a ton of terrorism that killed a lot of American soldiers.
Well, I'm going to...
And just like I said, I hated the Iran deal for that reason, because it gave them so much money that, under Trump, they were broke and terrorism went down. And then the second Biden comes back, he's giving them billions of dollars that is supposedly their money, and they're going to only use it for food, but, they could use it for food, and then the other money that they're supposed to use for whatever, for food, they're going to use on terrorism.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, but...
I want to say like 20-something billion. I mean, everybody knows when Obama gave them like pallets of cash, but Biden...
Obama didn't give them nothing but their own damn money back. He didn't give them piles of cash.
Money they didn't have.
What?
Okay? And Biden did the same shit. Biden even gave them like, I want to say 20-something billion.
No, what we did was we froze Iran's assets, and when they made a deal with Obama, we gave them their money back. We didn't give them any damn thing from here. We gave them their own money back.
Yes, I agree with you, but it's still money that they had that they used for terrorism.
I don't see that though.
So they made more money, and they used all our money against us. It's not like they use our money.
Yeah, see, I don't see that, Mac. I think that we seem to have this belief that terrorism is anything we don't like. In my opinion, with America in their region playing the world's police when they don't want us there, we are the actual terrorists. We're going in their neighborhoods telling them how they should behave, and then when they don't do it, we call them terrorists. That's, to me, I think we're using the word wrong. I think we are the ones that are being terrorists to them. They're not over here, we over there.
In a way, you might be right. One person's terrorist, another person's freedom fighter, and vice versa.
Mike,
so in a way,
appreciate
you're
that.
right.
Well,
Still, as far as America's concerned, Iran is a bad guy, and if this is successful, one is going to bring oil prices even lower to it's going to be super cheap to have.
Well, let me just say, Mike put in the Galaxy, so if he put in a request, I think he wants to talk to you.
I've been saving one for him. But
I don't see his request, so I don't know if he was just gifting the program. But if he puts in his request, he wants to talk to you. That's what I'm thinking. But
I don't think I said anything that controversial. But go ahead.
Okay, well, I can't let him up until he requests. I don't see his request, so maybe he was just being kind to the program.
Mike is he's got his talking points, and he's like Kamala Harris in that way.
No, I don't.
About anything but his talking points, he doesn't even know what you're saying, and he'll just stick to his talking points.
I don't think it's talking points. I think he wants to counter what you said. What did I say that was so controversial? Like the oil prices, the F-15 being old, that they were the bench, not the starting lineup. I think just your whole notion of the belief that Iran is somehow, some way going to get a nuclear bomb and just go rogue with it. I don't believe that.
No, I didn't say that, but you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I just says I can't risk it because they do have some crazies in there.
I don't believe it's in their leadership. Well, Mike, you got 10. Mike.
What's going on, Tim?
What are you hearing that you disagree with?
What did I say was so wrong?
All of it's wrong. But you're accepting.
That's the whole debate. All of it's wrong. I win. That's gonna be how it's gonna end.
No. I just have questions for you.
Are you gonna actually answer them, or actually debate, or are you just gonna say, "Oh, you're all wrong. Everything you said is wrong"?
No,
and that's the end
can we start? Can we start?
Go ahead.
Can we start? Was this something that you voted for, or when you voted for Trump, was this something that you supported?
No, I didn't.
Okay, perfect. So, but you're finding a way to support it now.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, you know what? It's not that I'm supporting it. I'm not like you. You guys are literally rooting for the enemy. I'm not rooting for it to fail. Even though I vote for it and it's not my taste of tea or whatever, I'm not going to root for the enemy like you guys are rooting for the enemy.
I don't know if they're the enemy, MAGA. I don't know if they're the enemy. To me, just like with Venezuela in the drug boats, until I see evidence that they're actually carrying drugs, I don't think they're the enemy.
Every day I listen to Michael rooting for the other side. He's rooting for America to fail.
When does that happen? Give me an example.
Right now, you were like, "Oh, look how these fucking airplanes were shot down, and how incompetent and how shitty this are, and how Iran is gonna kick our ass, and how this is gonna be."
I never said that. So let's be clear, because facts matter. I never said that. I never said that they were gonna kick our ass. I'm probably not quoting
word for word, but that's the general tone.
I didn't even allude to that. Did not once allude to that. But what I'm simply stating is this. Can you tell me
China is going to beat us in a trade war and all these other things?
Can we have a conversation instead of you trying to just cap the whole conversation? Number one, I never said that. Number two, it is pretty porous for us to have 3 F-15s pew-pewed out of the sky within days of this first conflict. Would you agree?
I mean, they were probably flying together, and they were probably.
I don't care if they were stacked on top of each other like a.
He said they were flying together. You realize that when they get painted, they know that.
Those planes just don't crash on their own. They're so old.
They got shot.
Maggie reacts. So, can you answer the question? Isn't that unusual?
No, it's normal. These planes go down for all kinds of reasons.
Can you show me another time in a conflict in the last 40 years where we've lost multiple planes in the same day?
I don't think we used F-15s like this before.
I don't give a fuck if we use crop dusters. Can you show me another time in history where we've lost multiple planes within a couple of days of the initial conflict?
I don't know our history like that. I don't have.
I know. Okay. I can help you out.
Google it. Google it.
Well, I can help you out.
Let me just interrupt to say this, MAGA.
I mean, how often do we strike a country like we have?
Okay, MAGA, let me just say something first of all. F-15s, the body of them is old, but the electronics, if somebody is trying to shoot this down, they don't change the radar. They know they're getting painted and things. You're making this jet sound like it's coming out of World War II. They're not as old as you making it sound.
No, but they are like the bench. It's one of those. It's like
they still produced it. MAGA Reacts
50 points, and you're letting the bench play, and one of them gets tackled.
MAGA Reacts, we still make them. You do understand that, right?
I understand, but it's an old design. It's not meant for stealth. You can
say
it's not
meant
old for anything. It's
just meant to do. Is a Corvette an old design?
Yes, people.
Do they update the models and still call them Corvettes?
Well, no. It's like taking an old Corvette and making it fast.
It's not like
building a brand new Corvette.
So it's not like still a Corvette. It's
like those old trucks.
But here's the thing:
are still used today because they're good work.
You just countering him for the sake of count. You just countering him for the sake of countering him.
Yeah.
No, but they don't have all the latest technologies. Sometimes the old shit works. The old shit's still fast. The old shit has a purpose. So you can't use them because they're cheap.
Are you going to get Gallup, or are we going to have this debate?
Well, you guys have an issue understanding me, so I have to like really emphasize what I'm saying.
Well, that's because you're talking in shitterish.
You just kept. He asking you some pretty simple yes or no questions.
You understand what I'm saying. That's not my fault. You don't understand.
These are pretty straight yes or no questions. Matter of fact, let me ask you another question. Did Donald Trump lie about obliterating their nuclear enrichment capabilities back in June of 2025?
I don't know if he lied or not. I don't know how.
He did say that. He did say that it was obliterated. Would you agree?
If yes, in a way he did.
Okay, in a way, or did he use the words obliterated?
I don't know the exact words he used.
You didn't hear him say.
For the sake of argument, I will agree with you.
You didn't hear him say obliterated? You don't even know if he said that?
I don't know what he meant. I don't know.
What does obliterated mean?
What are you talking about?
What does obliterated mean?
It means that he obliterated it, but they could always rebuild. They could always have ambitions to build more nukes.
Okay,
I mean,
MAGA Reacts. MAGA Reacts. Okay, fuck all of that.
I'm asking the context of the speech.
Okay, the context was, let me tell you what the context was.
Oh my God.
Donald Trump said that they obliterated Iran's ability to continue to enrich nuclear for nuclear enrichment to build a boom boom. That's what he said. When the report came out and said it wasn't that, he came out and admonished him for the report and said the report was wrong. Was that? Do you remember that?
He don't remember.
Yeah, like I said, for the sake of argument,
okay, perfect. For the sake of argument, for facts, okay, cool. So and he said it would take them a decade to rebuild. Do you remember that part?
Sure. For the sake of argument, yes.
MAGA, it would just be easier if you pled the fifth to everything he asking you. I mean,
I'm not trying to plead the fifth.
I would just say I plead the fifth. You sound like you in court. I mean, just say I plead the fifth.
I've been to court enough times to know how to answer these stupid
questions. You might as well just say I plead
it's so funny. You call them stupid, but these are very direct questions. So, if he said it was obliterated, it would take a decade to rebuild. Why would he say, why was this mission necessary?
Because they still have ambitions to do it. They still want to do it.
Does ambitions... So my other question, does ambitions mean that you attack a sovereign country?
I don't know. It depends on the situation.
What would the situation, what would justify ambition?
Look, I don't even care about that. What I care about
I'm simply asking you direct questions. You have to measure their ambition by the law, right? By the law.
But Michael,
and hold on. I'm gonna let you answer because I want you to answer.
Go ahead.
I'm simply asking you, what ambition do you believe would justify a country attacking another sovereign country?
I don't know. What do you mean? Like them, the ambition to harm the country.
Yeah, just like using a gun in America on somebody. You have to have generally a reason before you can shoot somebody. He's asking you what would justify us going to war with another country?
I mean, it depends. I mean, right here in this country, you can conspire to murder someone. And
I'm talking about this situation.
So this is the equivalent of conspiracy to murder.
Don't pivot. Don't pivot.
I'm just giving you an example. So
I don't care about that example. I care about what's going on in reality right now.
I never came on here and said that we attacked Iran because of the nuclear ambitions.
No, I didn't say you said it. I didn't say you said it. I said he said it. I didn't say you said it.
I don't come up here to argue Trump. I come here to argue my position, not Trump's position.
But your position supports Trump's position all the time.
Yeah, I support it for different reasons. I support it for the people of Iran that are celebrating. People of Iran are on TV everywhere. I don't give a fuck. It's still the people.
Have you seen the thousands? Have you seen the thousands that are also chanting death to Americans?
Okay. I
have
care
you
about
seen the alerts
that are free to actually speak.
I don't know if the alerts
are free to do anything back
then.
then.
And then Cal says not fair. Only TikTok can give Galley. Then Cal, you want to come up? Go ahead, gentlemen. I'm listening.
Cal, if you ever want to come up, I'll send it for you, bro.
Oh my God! Well, he's on a different platform. He's on YouTube.
I know, but I want to finish my line because again, I paid for this ass whooping. I simply am asking you. Hold on, MAGA Reacts. You can't, and see, this is the problem when I listen to you. You never want to be pinned down on an answer because you want to stay moving. I'm simply asking you very direct questions.
You're setting a trap, and
it's not a trap. Listen,
without me knowing all the details in your argument.
But what if you don't know, say you don't know. But see, tell me where the trap is. When someone campaigns on something, you vote for what they've told you they're going to do at that moment. Yes.
No, I vote once I agree. I vote because I agree with more of what he said than the other side said.
Okay, cool.
Do I agree with everything that Trump campaigned on? No, I agree more of it than Harris.
Yeah, but one of the things that he told you, and I've heard you say multiple times, that he was going to be about peace. He was going to end conflicts. He wasn't going to start conflicts. All of these things. I've heard you say all of those things. So I'm simply asking you okay, cool. And you just said yes. So this was not on your bingo card. So how do you justify something he never told you? Do you realize the very same people he said he's trying to liberate, they can't even come here?
They don't have to come here because they're going to be free in their own country.
Wait a minute. But if you're trying to liberate them from harm and they want to get out of there, and you're the president of a country that says he wants to liberate them, why wouldn't you allow them to come to your country for safety?
Because in that case, we're going to have most of the world here in our country.
Not most of the world. I'm talking about Iran, MAGA. I'm not talking about anyone else than the country that he just attacked.
But there's also Venezuela. There's also...
He's not talking... He didn't say he was liberating those other countries. He said he's liberating Iran. So why are you spreading out to other countries? He didn't promise to liberate the other countries.
But Venezuela is the same example.
No, it's not.
He didn't promise to liberate... He didn't promise to liberate
I'm really talking
Venezuela.
about Iran. I want to stay focused on Iran.
And then Iranians, I know a lot of Iranians in this country.
I'm not asking you who you know. That's anecdotal. I do too. I'm simply asking you, if you say you're trying to liberate a country from tyranny, from a dictator, from a ruthless murderer, and there's people that want to flee said country, why would you not allow them to come here if you're the country attacking them?
Well, first of all, we have a general immigration halt from all over.
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you.
And it's because you don't know who you can trust and who you can't trust.
Okay. Unfortunately, it's been the 10. I'm gonna have to break. I mean, he's not gonna answer anything you say. Like I said, he as opposed to having dialogue between each other, you're focused more on whether he's putting you in a trap or something. So you just ain't gonna answer anything.
He's trying to put words in my mouth.
No, he's asking you some questions that are simply yes or no, and you don't even want to answer those because answering it correctly might make you look bad. So you're just dodging. You must have just plead the fifth. You don't want to incriminate yourself. That's what you're doing.
Oh, maybe I've been in court too many times.
And you know what you could have done while I was up here before we go? You could have asked me the same questions, and you didn't.
Yeah.
Because I was waiting for you for the 10 hour, the 10 question setup.
Okay.
I mean, we're supposed to be debating points, and you're like trying to narrow me into this fucking trap.
All right.
Well, I'm like, what do you want from me?
All right, gentlemen. I do got to move it on. We'll leave it at that, gentlemen. Thank you, and Mike.
You should get a job in the Senate because that's what they do in all these hearings.
All right.
Be perfect for it.
And Mike, appreciate you coming up. All right, moving on with the program. That is how it works, though. I just hopefully normally when we bring two people up, I don't normally bring up two guests. I like to give the guests my undivided attention. But if you do hear a guest and you want to spar with them, yeah, you give a galaxy, I'll bring them up. I don't normally do that, but hopefully when the two individuals are sparring with each other, they do as a gentleman's agreement answer the questions. I mean, he was just, I don't want to get caught in the traps. I'm just going to not he asked them something like, don't they create new Corvettes and they still keep calling them Corvettes? That's a simple answer. He didn't want to answer that. So I mean, like, if you're just dodging, there's nothing we're gonna be able to do. That I mean, he was thinking that was a gotcha question, so he didn't want to answer that. So it is what it is. Anyway, moving on with the program. The caller is right. Trump is the GOAT. Based on what? Plain rock. Look, I'm not trying to say Trump's the worst president we've ever had, but to call him the greatest of all time, I guess the first question I would want to know is, out of all of the 40 some odd presidents we've had, what has Trump accomplished? And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not right all the time, damn it. This is the time you can correct me, but I do want to ask you this. And before I do, tap the screen, get us on up to 155,000. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube, and then give us a sub if you're watching on YouTube as well. We're here most weekdays. Free speech, MAGA friendly. You can criticize anybody on the program, including yours truly. But I will ask this. In regards to President Trump allegedly being the greatest of all time, we've heard about defeating the English with George Washington, freeing slaves with Abraham Lincoln, sending folks to the moon under Kennedy, defeating the Soviet Union under Ronald Reagan. What has Trump done? What has Trump accomplished that 50 years from now we'll still be talking about? How does he get the greatest of all time? 100 years from now, what has Trump accomplished that we're going to still be talking about, giving him credit for? 50, 100 years from now. Remember, he's the greatest of all time. Nobody's better. What has he done to put him in that category? Now, we could probably talk about January 6th. I'm sure that'll be talked, but we're talking about accomplishments, though. January 6th is not chalked up as an accomplishment, but it will be talked about for decades. But give me something President Trump has done. The greatest pedophile of all time. Oh my God, somebody said the greatest pedophile of all time. Who said that? Solid Simmons? Yikes. But what has he done that, yeah, we talked about the guy, didn't Cal, you said that we talked about the guy in Austin, Texas. Yes, we covered him yesterday, the guy who was involved in a mass shooting wearing the shirt that said property of Allah with the Iranian t-shirt. Yeah, I actually had his, I don't know if I think I deleted, but we had his picture up here yesterday. We did talk about that. Killed, how many did he kill? 3 and wounded a bunch of other folks. I don't know if the number of deaths has increased, but we certainly covered that yesterday. This is a photo of the guy with the long rifle. Anyway, but what has Trump accomplished that 100 years from now we'll still be talking about? I mean, you want to get a guy greatest of all time, I'm willing to discuss it, but I don't see anything that's there. He still has almost 3 years remaining, so he could do something great, but I don't see anything on his radar right now that will put him in that category. You want to compare him to Biden or Obama or Bush, somebody in our recent history, that's one thing. But all 40 some odd presidents, there's no way in hell. I don't see how you get that. I don't see how you get him anywhere near the greatest of all times. Unless there's something there I'm missing, and somebody can let me know that. The biggest cover-up of justice with his family and a wife, says Ryan. Okay, well, like I said, I don't see some. How about the Virginia man, 30 prior stab woman, another black on white crime? I haven't heard about that one. What Virginia woman with 30 priors that stabbed? I haven't heard about that one. That's a lot of stabs, by the way. Trump killed Biden inflation. Economies come and go. Nobody's going to be talking about the Trump economy 30 years from now, 50 years from now. Nobody talks about, what was the economy under James Madison? Nobody talks about that shit. That comes and goes. Nobody talks about it unless you do something that's really fucking stellar. Nobody, I think we sometimes hear about Bill Clinton balancing the budget, and that's about the furthest back we go. We don't really talk about the economy for a very long period of time under a president. That ain't gonna make it in terms of him being a GOAT. There's got to be something better than that. How many terms did Roosevelt have? He was not elected that many. Roosevelt had, I think, 4. I think he had like 4 terms. I think it was 4. You're gonna enforce this said hypothetical. What do you mean? Anyway, the code of child sexual. I think. Listen, I do believe Trump will be remembered for decades, but I don't think it's for anything good. I mentioned January 6th. Eventually, and I put emphasis on eventually, the truth about Epstein will come out. The truth about that will come out. I don't know where that's going to lead us on Trump, but if anything negative is in there for Trump, that'll be part of his legacy. We can go back and forth on whether the courts had it in for him or not, but fact is he is the only president that's been arrested, has a mugshot, and was actually convicted of 30 some odd felonies. That'll be remembered because that hasn't happened to any president. So even if he turns out to be a good president, what I'm simply saying is most of the memories of Trump that will last for generations are negative. They are negative. Probably the best thing Trump has done, and I mentioned this earlier in the live, but he can't take credit for it, is Operation Warp Speed. That's something that should be remembered from Trump for generations. But the way he rolled it out, Biden may end up getting more credit for that. And then, of course, if the Space Force turns out to be a respectable arm of the military, that's an accomplishment of Trump. That's about it in terms of big accomplishments from Trump. You got to let me know something else if there's something else. The Space Force and Operation Warp Speed. But when you're talking about January 6th, first president to be arrested, first president to be impeached twice, and that's going to increase. I'm just letting you know some of that stuff is going to increase. The liberals are going to find a way to charge him in the future, maybe go after his family posthumously for some of the money. There's going to be more stuff coming against Trump. Just, like they used to say right before commercial break, stay tuned. The liberals are going to take more swings at Trump. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. Whether it's his family members, them pursuing those folks for money they may have ill-gotten gains or cryptocurrency or something. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but stay tuned. There is more to come legally for the Trump family. It might not fall on Trump, but his family, because if he received ill-gotten gains, his heirs will be pursued. His heirs will be pursued for the money. So there's more to come on Trump. I'm just telling you that. There will be more of that. His family is wealthier because he was president. True, but that's any family. I think in Trump's case, though, it's far more exaggerated because his legislation and things are making his family wealthy. I think his son, Barron, the youngest one, has some kind of drone company that's getting government contracts. Ill-gotten gains, like I said, the Trump saga legally, that ain't over with. That is not over with yet. Anyway, ill-gotten gains, see-through words out, he doesn't understand. Well, Todd, if we can say that Hunter Biden and Burisma was ill-gotten, I think you can point to some of the stuff that the Trump family has accomplished and say the same thing. If you can clearly see Hunter Biden 10% to the big guy, and you can see all this corruption from the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden team, and you don't see nothing from Trump, you're kind of being biased in that. You're really kind of being biased in that. I mean, the president with his own cryptocurrency, can you imagine crooked Hillary Clinton with her own crypto? You wouldn't be agreeing with that. That looks suspicious. Why would you have cryptocurrency as the president? Why would you be trying to trademark your name while president? Ill-gotten gains. And then, of course, even stuff like naming memorials and ships and stuff out there. All of that stuff, like I said, a lot of that stuff is probably going to end up being reversed, or at the very least, laws are going to be passed to prevent any president from doing that stuff in the future. You can't be naming shit after yourself while you're still alive. Memorials? How do you get a memorial while you're still walking around? Don't know. Anyhow, I appreciate the 155,000 likes. You guys, I totally appreciate you tuning in. Whether I'm right or wrong, we have these conversations daily. If you enjoy this type of conversation from all sides of the aisle, follow the program. If you're watching on TikTok, Instagrams, and if you're watching on YouTube, give us a sub. Until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. I'm out. Thank you.